Hello,
Hey everyone.
Daniel.
Hey everyone.
Hey, Daniel Lira.
Hi Nicolero, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Good,
Good.
good, good. Yeah.
I'm very happy that you're good.
And how are you?
I'm good.
I'm very happy that you are good.
um, Daniel Lira.
Tell me.
Uh, I had mentioned this in, I think, a couple of previous lives, but I hadn't shown the painting. So, um, a painter friend that I met in
Brazil.
Sao Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
Sao Paulo. Ale Ryder. Ale Ryder. No, I don't know. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ale Ryder. He is the person that's in charge of Plein Air Studio in Sao Paulo,
Mm-hmm.
and he's an amazing painter. He's a fantastic. I mean, as the name suggests, he's a fantastic plein air painter. He um, he does a wonderful job at having a place where community meets because there's a lot of like interests in his workshop. So a lot of people that go there for portraiture, and he's got people, very capable artists that teach portraiture, or that teach watercolor, or that teach oil painting. So I admire him profoundly because he's going beyond just building a workshop and just giving classes. You can really sense that there's like a beautiful community surrounding those classes. So that's I think that's the biggest objective always when you're doing that. In here, Camilo Calderon does that with Taller 301, and my friend Felipe Machado with Blanc Atelier. He does that too. It's not just classes; it's community, driven. So just people that I admire profoundly because I didn't have I always liked the idea of teaching and sharing as much experience as you can. But I never I felt a little overwhelmed by when I thought, oh, maybe I can do a workshop and it's this big studio, and then other friend artists can attach to it and maybe give classes. I think that's a little too much for me. I'm not a good entrepreneur. Like my brain is like pea size. So I always had to find a way to say, okay, I like teaching, but I know also my limitations. I never had the money to get those things started either. So it's a little bit difficult, but the people that can get things started, I admire them. And whenever I can, I happily work alongside them, with them. And so Ale Ryder has like the deepest respect that I can have for somebody because I had an amazing time when I was in Sao Paulo. So he sent me this um, when we were doing the workshop in Menorca with somebody, with Bruno, and I really appreciate it. It's a beautiful little painting, and so it's really nice. I wanted to show it. So that was a gift, but we mentioned maybe the people that come here almost every day with us. We always mention our friend Nicolas
Lich.
Lich,
Yeah.
and he's sometimes here. He hangs out sometimes in our lives, during our lives, and he's a very good friend of ours. He's the reason we both met. I mean, he wasn't
He's the
introducing
friend.
us.
Yeah, he's the friend.
He's
Like the mutual friend we
he
had.
was our mutual friend at that time
Exactly.
when we met, and he posted a painting about, I don't know, it was a little ago, about 3 weeks ago maybe.
No, maybe more.
I'm gonna say 3 weeks, which is, or 4 weeks maybe, but 3 weeks ago, and I was like struck by it, and I thought it was fantastic. And I've known Nicolas for many years now, probably over 10 years, and and I've seen his development as a painter, and I think it's wonderful because I've always told him that there's this really weird idea about graduating, art school or college, or even graduating from an MFA. that I know that those are moments. Those are very important moments in the I don't know. I don't know if in the development of an artist, but at least they're proper moments for us, in terms of kind of landmarks, I guess. And yeah, they're important dates, but they don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Like, it doesn't mean that if you graduate college or art school and you're not at the place where you want to be, that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing. Nothing. You don't have to reach. There's no places that you're supposed to reach when you graduate from art school. There's not like a single objective kind of moment in your life that you can be proud of if you reach it by the time you are, X amount of age, or after X amount of years of studying. That doesn't exist. It really doesn't. Art is something that's very, very peculiar in that way. So, and I say this because I always thought Nicolas was, Lich was always very, very talented. I always thought so. I think he's a terrific person too. He's got like a super big heart. He's super, super warm, super kind. And we actually worked together in his thesis project. I was his thesis advisor. So I've always been very, very aware of of how he paints, and I don't evaluate his painting anymore because that was my job way back when I was his teacher. But I just see his painting as as a colleague and as a friend and as something that I enjoy now. So the way I perceive it has changed, but he's also become like a super, super talented painter. And I'm so happy for that because, like I said, your development never, it never stops to say, okay, you just graduated, you should be here. There's nothing like that. Nothing. You could, potentially have not so great experience in terms, let's say, of your work habit when you were in art school because maybe you were a little irresponsible. And that's not terrible. That's not bad. I mean, sure, you should have taken advantage of that time and your teachers and the classes, but it doesn't mean that you threw everything away. Like, if you paid attention and if there's stuff in you that that you can, grow, it'll happen like a few years later, and that's perfect. If it happens, when it happens, whenever that is, then great. And you should celebrate it. So, just to make long story short, although I'm making it super long, I saw this painting and I was like, oh my God, this is one of the coolest things Nicolas has painted. And I wrote to him almost like immediately, and I was like, yeah, I have to have that painting. Like, I love it. It's super, super nice. I showed it to Danny, and Danny was like, wow, that's a great painting. So we've been playing like cat and mouse trying to get together, but he was here yesterday and he brought us the painting, and I thought it was amazing. Like every painting, when you see it, it's like a totally different experience. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if it's a very simple painting, if it's very loose or very tight. It doesn't matter. Like, just having that expectation from an image and then realizing that everything just changes, like that reality morphs into something else when you look at the object. It's so, so nice. So I wanted to show you guys because I think I don't know if it glares a little bit. Our setup is not great for like.
Más arriba que no se ven las manos.
Yeah, our setup is not super great for dark paintings, but I don't know. I absolutely loved it. I think this is as good as you could paint that angle of that head and that portrait and that light. Perfect. So, so, so good. When I saw this portrait, I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm not saying like I like it because I can't paint this, but in many ways I'm saying I like it because I can't paint like this. Like, this is super, super subtle. Drawing is just spot on. That I don't know how to paint like this. I don't think I ever knew how to paint like this at any point in my life, but I for sure would say that I don't know how to paint like this anymore, or I can't really see like this anymore. So I'm super happy when I see things that I maybe other roads that I could have taken, or things that I certainly appreciate, but I'm just really quite incapable of doing. When I see other people that I respect, when I see them doing it so well, I'm always like, oh, I celebrate it. I'm like, oh, this is so good. So we were super, super happy. He brought it yesterday for us. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share
Oh, yeah. His Instagram?
Lich's, yeah,
Liches?
Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
Lich's?
Liches, yeah.
No, Lich's Instagram. Lich's, no.
Yeah. So, that it's just honestly, I think there's cool things, and there's the cool feeling that you get when you can, and it's not just about, buying this really nice image that now can accompany you, throughout your life. But I think it's also super nice when you can tell somebody, I love what you did. I want it. There's something very nice about that. And I think all of us artists know that feeling, or we, appreciate that feeling. There's almost like I've always said it. There's a sense of being grateful for that also. I every time, I don't know how many paintings I've sold in my life. I don't know how many paintings we've sold in our painted lives, but in our project. But I never get used to that feeling of saying thank you. Like, somebody, I always feel like somebody's helping. Somebody is supporting, in this case, us. And I'm always, always super grateful. So I know that feeling is very nice. It's not about thinking less of ourselves, and we just have to always be, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. No. I think there's something really nice about the person that says, I like this and I want to support you and I want to buy it. And there's something really cool about saying, this is important for me, so thank you. I really appreciate it. So I don't know. I think it's a good feeling. We rarely we have paintings that people give to us. I mean, there's people that are super generous that send us gifts, or little works of theirs just to show their appreciation, which we absolutely adore and we're very grateful for also. But I think 99% of everything that we've bought.
Yeah, 99. Because
I
that
would
sounded like
99. Oh, no.
99%, yeah.
99% of everything that we have, we've bought. And I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So we always say this, you don't have to do it with our channel. Like, if anything, we like to tell people, to ask of people to consider that if there's artists that you enjoy in your social media, if there's artists that you enjoy in your local galleries, if there's artists that you enjoy in conventions, going to conventions or to art fairs or to shows, and if you have like the ability to purchase something off of them, if it meets, the amount of money that that you could spend in buying artwork, because that's not the same for all of us. We've kind of said it with Danny. We have like a range that we have. Sometimes, with very few exceptions, we have like said, oh, I want this. Like, Danny said, oh, no, we have to have this. And maybe it's $150, $200 more than what we usually pay. And we'll consider it. But because we know that we can't just like, make $350 and spend $500 every day, because that's ridiculous. That's stupid. But we kind of know when we can spend money, how much we can spend. And it's really nice. It's a nice feeling. So if you enjoy other people's work, if it's in a price range that you consider fair for them and also fair to your own finances, write to them and tell them, hey, I want to buy this. I saw this in your Instagram. I saw this in a gallery. I want to buy it off of you. Maybe go to your local gallery. If it's a small gallery, even better. But just contact people that you respect. And it doesn't have to be a painting. It doesn't have to be a drawing. That's great if it is. But it can be a sculpture, or it can be, I don't know. Or you can buy videos where they teach you how to paint gouache or anything. But just supporting artists is something that I think a healthy society has to do, because they do provide us, and I'm going to say they because I would feel like an idiot saying we provide you. No, but I'm going to say they provide us, because both Danny and I also consume a lot of stuff from artists. I think they provide us and they fill like joys and they fill gaps in our being that nothing else can. Nothing. So we need, healthy artists working, happy artists working. So the one thing you can do, again, if it's not with us, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But, hopefully we can serve as a reminder to, hey, write to your favorite artists, big and small, and ask them if they have anything they can, they can sell you and see if you can purchase. So that's that's always been our belief. Like, if it's not here, don't think that effort ends here with us. No, please. Like, there's so many artists starting out, young and old, or there's so many, we kind of push this, but there's so many young artists that would really, really appreciate and could really benefit from you saying, oh, this is so cool. I want to support you. So anyways, let's get to work. We're going to do like a really nice little simple still life. I found these beer bottle caps yesterday. We don't drink beer. We don't drink. No. And but yesterday we had like 2 beers each, so that's like a 6-pack in total.
Yeah, our friend brought some beers.
Yeah. So
and we had pizza.
Yeah.
Some snacks. And beer.
Yeah. So healthy night out. Healthy night in. Yeah. And you were drunk, kind of.
No.
Well, I had a headache.
No.
You were already. You already had like you were already feeling the effect of alcohol.
No.
From the next day.
I wouldn't say I was drunk.
No, not drunk.
Of course, no. I mean, you said I was drunk.
Okay.
Of course, no.
So
I wasn't
sorry.
drunk.
You were hungover.
No,
already.
I wasn't hungover.
Okay.
I was having a headache, and I told you like it's been like a year and a half.
Yes.
That we haven't had any drinks. So I know that I could have 2 beers, but not 3, because I can't. Because now I have a headache. But that doesn't mean I was
no.
drunk.
I misspoke. Not drunk. You were hungover.
Yeah. You didn't finish your beer, too.
No, I'm that sort of person now.
No, I was going to say that we both are. I mean, it's not like we were like hungry for having alcohol.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean, we had it because our friend brought it, but if he didn't,
you would have been totally fine.
Yeah, exactly. So we can say hi, maybe, to everyone.
Oh, so all I was gonna say is just a little still life pretext to say these are the remains of just having like a good friend over, and that's it. Like a testament of just good friend, talented people that we have. We're super blessed to have in our lives. So yeah, that's what we're gonna
and I love that
do today.
There's 3 different bottle caps. I don't know how
So
to
that
call
would be So that would be us.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much us. One for each. One cap for each human being that was here
yesterday.
So you probably were the one in the bottom, hence the headache. All the weight.
Or the one that's to the side.
Yeah, already like I'm done.
Escape.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Good night. Go to bed.
Marcelo Peralta said, hi, first comment. Look, mom, I made it.
Ooh.
Hi, Marcelo, how are you? Javi have said, hello, hi, good afternoon. Hi, Javi.
Hey, Javi.
My mom was saying hello, but I think she's
gone.
Sí, hola, mi cholis.
Choli Bingis.
Si sigues acá, cholis, mándanos un corazoncito. O una letra.
No, mi amor.
pero no creo que siga acá.
Sí, no. Tu mamá cumple al comienzo y después,
Ya.
chao dogs.
Sí, pero me estaba diciendo esta mañana muy preocupada que no le llegó
¿Qué?
no le sonó el celular avisándole que
Mm,
estábamos ayer en transmisión.
de pronto
Entonces me
tenía
dijo,
apagado.
revisa qué pasó. Entonces yo le dije que tranquila.
Cholivinguis, de nuestro lado, no, nada.
Sí, no. Yo le dije que tranquila, que em, debió ser porque no tenía buen internet o cualquier cosa. Michael
Mhm.
McEwan, I don't know.
I think you did well with the first
McEwan?
try. Yeah.
Okay. Was asking, did you watch the football?
Oh, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Yeah, we did.
Hmm.
Whole family was watching.
Yeah,
Um,
Roberto Ortiz was also asking, did you guys catch the football
Oh,
game?
of course we did. So
Yeah.
a little painful, but no, I think because we have a lot of like mixed interest in there. Obviously, because Diaz is playing, so we want him to do well. Which, sadly, it's probably like his worst match or the match where he has been neutralized the most out of all the games that he's played for Liverpool. So it's very sad to like say, oh, he's struggling, or they're outplaying him, because I mean that's life. You can't always think that your competition is going to be less than you. And the truth is, we were saying yesterday that they showed up. Real Madrid played an amazing game. I know that a lot of like Reds fans are, they're kind of saying how we could have won that game, and if Sadio scores that first kind of that first ball that Courtois saves and then hits the post, that could have been a totally different match, completely different match.
Yeah, but we were also saying like it's like could have, would
Oh
have.
yeah,
and
no, that's not
I mean,
that's not football.
exactly.
Football is.
I mean, it was what it was,
Yeah,
and that's it.
Football is that day. Maybe they play 10 other games and Courtois doesn't play that well, or maybe they play 10 other games and Carvajal gets tired. I have no idea how he was running that much and with that and he was that vehement when he was covering Diaz. And Militao was helping. Just positioning was just so perfect. I don't know. They were just, they were willing. So what I've been thinking is that maybe, they have to rest because they deserve to rest because they have played more than any other team in Europe. So they truly deserve to rest. It's a good thing that they're going to rest. And come preseason, I mean, they're gonna sell Sadio. So, who knows who they're buying, if they're buying somebody or if they're, getting somebody from Bayern. I don't know what those three players up top look like. So I don't know. But what I'm thinking is if they have preseason, then they can play a lot better. Because I'm going to say this, and maybe, as much as I love Mane, because I love Mane, he's a tremendous player. He's not like, there were games that it's so maddening because maybe we notice it more because we're always looking at Luisito. But there were many games where he was just playing the ball like, he was thinking of Salah, of Mo. He was like always thinking, okay, I can either keep the ball and slow things down and try to like, I don't know, cross over two people.
I would even say he was thinking in himself.
Yeah. I mean, usually strikers, good, players like that, they want the glory. Like, all of them get to be in the place that they are because they want to be the ones that are the heroes. They want to score. And I totally get that. I'm not naive. Like, every great football player is usually like that. But then I think not really. When I see like amazing footballers, like I would love Mo if he'd never scored but he had 2 assists. Like if he hadn't scored in the last 3 weeks, which he didn't. Well, no, he did score against Wolves, but if he hadn't scored anything, but he was playing for Mane or for Luchito.
And because that's the
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Yeah,
Mane sometimes plays alone. Like
yeah, so
he knows that if he thinks in the, I mean, in Liverpool as a group,
yeah.
he should pass the ball to Luchito, and you can see that he like doubts if he should do it or not.
Yeah.
And then he ends up not doing it.
Yeah, and he ends up doing like
And
always
losing the
making
ball.
just the wrong call
Yeah.
because you can tell that he just took that split second. He was like, "No, I don't want to play it here," and then the play is just dead.
Exactly.
So then he tries to take it on himself, and it almost never prospered. But and I'm imagining that Klopp had like a really hard time saying, "Hey, I know you're like this superstar, but you should consider like passing the ball. Like when they're seeing tapes of games, like, hey, you should have passed it here. Like, come on." I'm sure that he's probably like a good man manager, and because he knows he has to like tread very softly, he was probably never like, "Hey, come on, what are you doing? You have to pass the ball." And the same reason why he would never, or very rarely, he would. Bueno. He would take them off. Like very, very rarely he would take them off. He would much rather bet on Mo or Sadio to just do something amazing and save our butts. So I'm thinking maybe that with preseason, there's going to be a little more balance, and I'm not even sure who our top three are going to be, or our 3 wingers / striker. I don't know, because we have weird positions, but I don't really know how that's gonna play out. So maybe that's gonna be healthy for the team. Maybe it's Jota and Luchito, Jota, and Mo. So maybe it's like a super easy thing, but I hope that if they start playing together, like really together from the beginning, it's going to make like an enormous difference. So, but honestly, that on that day, Real Madrid won, and we have to be okay with that. Like we really have to be okay with that because they played the game that they had to play. They played a game where they were like, you know what, if we have one chance, we have to score, and they had one chance and they scored. And the truth is, we didn't, and that's it. That's how it works. Sometimes, like football games are that simple. You just have to score, and nobody cares about finals. In finals, nobody cares who played better. Nobody. It's like who won. Period. So a final is a final. You play finals to win, not to play pretty and not to do anything else. So I think Real Madrid has that down. It's really actually quite remarkable that they have such strong mentality, because it's pretty amazing. So that was our Liverpool 10 minutes. So we're going to leave it at that, because I know not a lot of Red fans here. So
So when you were showing Lich's
Nicolas,
painting,
yeah,
Robin said, "Wow."
yeah, it's beautiful, Robin. It's really, really beautiful.
Sergio's sketchbook said, "Hi all." Hi Sergio, how are you?
Hey, Sergio.
Nikola Smiharevich
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hi everyone." Hi Nicola.
Mm-hmm.
Liad was also saying hello.
Hey, Liat.
Javier Gómez está diciendo hola a todos.
Hola,
Javier. Patricio Juárez dice hola Dani y Nicolás, ¿cómo van?
¿Qué dice Patricio?
Y Patricio dice beer and pizza are the 2 basic food groups.
Come on. How does that not make you healthy? Like, the world is going to change when they can artificially create something that tastes like that and feels like that, but it's like eating
Super balanced.
broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
I
hope
mean,
so.
broccoli is delicious, but
Yeah,
it's not pizza. So
No. There's something about pizza that I think the because you can I think the world can take two routes. They could just educate people and tell them no, you have to grow your own vegetables, you have to eat like super healthy plant-based meals, and that's yes. I mean, obviously that if you think about it, it's like yes, that is true. There's nothing controversial about that. Yes, you should eat better. Like when somebody tells us you have to eat better, yes, sure. Like you don't even need to go to the doctor. As soon as you cross the door in the doctor's office, they could know nothing about you. And they could just say, I think you could eat a little bit better. And everyone would say, yes, you're right. Absolutely right. But, so there's that route. But then there's this other road where, I mean, we're human beings. We're flawed. We're idiots. We're, evil. But we're also so ingenious. So damn ingenious. I think we can invent this thing. Come on, give it like 50 years. I'm not gonna be here. But do it for my kids. Come on. Do it for the children. Just invent food that's healthy, incredibly healthy. I mean, the healthiest that human beings are going to be throughout, our 250, 400,000 years of existence. Make it so healthy, but make it taste so good.
yeah.
And
not like,
I know.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. No. I was going to say that it's not like when people say, no, there's like super healthy pizza. Yes,
Yeah,
but it
but no,
doesn't
come on.
taste as good.
No, there has to be that sense of risk. When I eat Domino's, I know that I'm cutting my life short. I know it.
Nicolas, no.
I know it.
No.
I'm gambling.
I think I made a terrible decision because I wanted to
Okay.
have a tiny mint. The mints for the sore
Okay,
Sore
so
throat?
yeah. Okay.
¿Cómo se dice?
Sore throat.
Throat.
Yeah, not quite mints, but
No, I don't know how to call them. Like,
how
'cause
do you call those?
I wouldn't say
remember.
pills. 'Cause
No,
they're
they're not pills. They're sucking.
no, that sounds
succubus.
horrible. No.
What are those?
But now I'm trying to like.
What would you call them? Because we're gonna find out.
Jair Piñero
No.
says candy.
Well, no, it's not candy. But
I would call them.
don't look at chat. Don't look
no,
at chat.
Okay,
So how would you call? No, you can.
No, I'm gonna close the chat.
Okay.
How
How would you call them? Because I know I'm gonna remember what they're called, but I don't remember right now.
I would call them throat mints.
Throat mints. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Throat mints. Yeah.
You
No.
or Vic.
Yeah.
Vicks. I mean, I know that's the
But that's
brand.
a brand.
But
No,
if you
it's
say
like,
that, people know what you're talking
what are they
about.
called? Cough drops.
Cough
there we
drops?
go. I remembered. Oof.
No, but I think they're different.
No, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. That's what you call them, though. That's
Belt said hot dog.
hot dog, cough drops.
So Robin, Sergio's sketchbook, and Nathan,
Yeah.
and Adam,
Yeah.
were saying the same word that I have no idea how to pronounce.
Pronounce
Pronounce.
or pronunciate. Go with that.
pronounce.
You were going for that. That's
Lozenge?
oh.
Lozenge?
I like the way you're saying it.
How is it?
No. I like it. Lozenge.
I know you're saying this because you have no idea how to say it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. But I'll say it in a little bit, and you'll see.
No, say it now.
No.
I know it's because you don't remember.
Sure.
I know you.
But wouldn't cough drop be the same? Wouldn't it be the same a little bit?
Jair Piñero said, "Oh yeah, cough drops lozenge or whatever is a brand. Your mom was saying good afternoon. Hola, Olguita.
Olguis.
¿Está lloviendo por allá, Olguita?
Pueblito siempre llueve.
Por acá está lloviendo. Yo creo que está granizando por lo que vi.
Pueblito siempre, pero no suena a granizo, no.
Sí.
No. Granizo suena más estrepitoso.
Pasó algo ahorita cuando estaba tratando de cerrar la ventana. No sé si contarte ya.
Pues yo me imaginé porque tú decías, voy a cerrar la ventana.
Y me demoré una hora.
Y te fuiste.
No, es que se cayó uno de los paneles del... ¿Esto? O sea, como la cortina. No sé cómo se llama eso.
Sí.
Se soltó de arriba. Entonces dije, ¿cómo lo subo? Me paré en la silla, pero no alcanzaba. Entonces lo estiré en la cama para colgarlo después y cerré el blackout para
y todo.
que no se viera el cuarto hacia adentro.
Apagando incendios, tú siempre. To do more, to do less. Ven, pero te pregunto, ¿se cayó? ¿Se cayó?
No, se cayó.
¿O se cayó después de que hice algo de pronto?
No, literalmente se cayó porque lo fui a abrir. O sea, fui a abrir la... No, ay.
No, estoy...
Fui a abrir la cosita, pues a mover la tirita esa que mueve los paneles y se cayó. So, Alexander Rader
Ale,
was
boa tarde.
Was sending some like I don't know how to call them, like heart-eyed emojis.
Okay, yeah.
Um
No, he's a wonderful person.
So let's see. Jair Piñeros está diciendo hola Dani and Nico. Y Margo también decía hola. Y Caqueiro. Entonces, hola Jair, Margo
hola,
y Caqueiro. Alote, no, eso suena muy feo.
No. Si yo estoy en un lote en el Tour de Francia, no me siento mal.
Dijiste, si yo estoy en un lote y me imaginé en un lote de tierrita, como...
Pues, tampoco me sentiría mal en un lote...
depende del lote. Hay uno ahí en un lote que va a ser uno en un lote en la mitad
pues
de la
no,
nada.
si lo va a comprar o si ahí tiene la visión de que va a ser su casa. No, cosas muy bonitas pasan. Cosas muy bonitas pueden pasar en un lote, Daniela.
Sí. El lote, yo me acuerdo, Cacaíto que está acá, el papá de mi primo tenía un lote en el que después él tenía una academia de natación, tiene una academia de natación, y en el lote, pues al principio era solo lote, y hacíamos a veces como asados.
Uy,
después hicieron una casa y se volvió después un parqueadero para la academia, pero todavía le llamábamos el lote. Entonces era como, no, vamos al lote. Entonces,
pues es chévere tener un lote.
Belt said, honey and lemon, lime, tea is my go-to sore throat remedy. Yeah, I would love to have some. I don't know what happened, but this morning I woke up with, I would say, a terrible sore throat because it was hurting so bad. Now it's better, but it started hurting. So when I was closing the window, I took the little lozenge.
Lozenge.
To feel better. TY was saying, how come you don't paint, Danny? I do paint.
Yeah?
I don't paint in camera, but I do paint.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. Ninja Reflex. Not really, but...
Ninja Reflex. That's yours.
Oh, yeah. After pizza, for sure. It sounds huge. Yeah. Like an... I don't know. No. People have to remember that if you don't paint on camera, it doesn't mean that you don't paint. Like, painting on camera is like a different thing. It's like a different beast. It's weird and it's uncomfortable. And it's probably fine for people that, like me, that we have taught for a bunch of years. So it's, you've probably done a bunch of demos in front of people, and you don't feel that weird about just people watching your process. You've already recognized that you don't have to paint for other people. You're just painting for yourself, so you don't change anything.
Wait. 'Cause
Wait.
TY
Shut
was
up.
saying, no. I asked how come Nicolas doesn't paint Danny
What?
as a subject.
What?
It was how come you don't paint Danny?
Oh.
But
So
I
maybe
think
they don't
they're-
know the channel. Maybe
Yeah,
they're
'cause-
new, and we always welcome new people.
Yeah,
That's
we're happy to
we're
have
not
you here,
shaming
Ty.
new people.
but I think there's, I would say
Oh, dozens.
300.
What?
200 paintings.
No, of you?
Yeah.
No, come on. No.
Nicolas.
I mean, I love you. I adore you,
I
but
think-
not 200.
No, I think
No.
they can be
I said dozens.
100.
No, I'm gonna say dozens, which is still very much a symbol of how much I adore.
I would say
you
100.
and
I would
adore-
like to count them. Because I'm counting not only the Our Painted Lives ones,
So the ones in the sketchbook.
but exactly the ones you, like the drawings and paintings you did
Okay,
as
so
rewards.
maybe
Maybe
100. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe baby. um the
Mm.
Kunstlich.
Mm.
Kunstlich? I don't know.
How's it spelled?
Kunstl.
So Kunst is art.
Kunstlich.
Yeah. So
Kunstlich? Kunstlich?
I don't know.
Was
I know
saying,
Kunstmuseum is like art museum.
was saying, I'm just recovering from a nasty cold. Get
Mm.
better, Danny. Los Angeles or anything else does not change the time to get better. It's always 7 days, no matter what you do. Yeah, and I don't feel like I have a cold.
Yeah, she doesn't.
It's just my throat.
Yeah, maybe it's the beginning of a cold. Maybe it's but she's not. But she's okay. But it's not a virus. It
No.
doesn't seem like a virus. Maybe there's a ton of respiratory stuff going on in all of Bogota, because there was a couple of weeks ago super cold weather, bad weather,
no,
bad
and
rain.
we're still, I mean,
It's
as
raining
we're
right
talking,
now.
it's raining. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, but I was gonna say that a lot of kids in schools have respiratory stuff right
Yeah.
now, which is not COVID related, just common cold. And Fer was
yeah, I was going to say Fer, for example.
oh yeah, they were here for all of last week. So Fer for the I don't know, last maybe 3-4 days,
Mhm.
she had a pretty bad cold.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I'm kind of immune to colds. I get like one
Yeah.
maybe every
I
3
remember
years or
A
something.
terrible one you had.
But when I was coming back from the US,
Yeah, you were like
'cause I had like airplane
incapacitated.
flu.
Yeah.
I had like airplane flu, which is like, oh,
But I mean, you're the type of person that never has a nap.
no.
And in that, like, the time you had that cold,
Oh, yeah.
you were
yeah.
napping all the day because you were
Oh,
like
yeah, it was-
super tired.
Yeah, no, I couldn't, when I get like a bad cold, oh yeah, I'm like out. But thankfully it happens like maybe once every like 3-4 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really get sick. I really, really don't.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
say
and
it as
you were-
I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not saying it as a, hey, I'm doing this right and you guys are like
no, it's
messing up.
just like your body.
Yeah, but I just don't get colds.
Mm,
Like
and
if with Fer like that, I always feel like, oh no, I can like hug her and kiss her, and I'm totally, I don't know. I always trust that I'm gonna be fine. I always have that feeling in my mind. I don't know. It's kind of stupid, but I always feel I'm gonna be okay. Like, I know I'm gonna die at some point, but I always feel I'm gonna be okay.
I used to have a lot of colds all the time when I was working, like the late night shifts
Oh yeah,
as a bartender.
But
Yeah.
that bar, the first one that you worked on, that was cold.
No, El Drunken?
Yeah, that place was cold. I mean, when it was full of people.
No.
Fine.
I would say that
But then
the
going
second
out?
one, the second one and the third were were colder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And in the last one I worked, they opened the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh.
So people, it wasn't only the cold of the night, but people could smoke there.
Oh.
And I'm not a smoker. So like the fumes, that's not fumes. Like
Smoke.
the smoke
It was
from
right there, don't
smoking.
worry.
Yeah.
Lasange.
Yeah. Affected me terribly. I think I was having a cold more days in the month than the days that I was okay.
I remember you would
I
get
was
back
like
from work.
congested all the time,
Always
like
coughing.
coughing
You
all
would
the time.
cough every single time you had to work.
Yeah, and the other thing is that when I was a kid, I was maybe 10, 12. I had a very bad cold
Mm.
and I had to go to the hospital. And I was hospitalized for, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks.
Oof, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. And my cough since that moment sounds so weird.
Yeah, you have like you always have like this dry, very dry cough.
And it's after that because I remember I asked my doctor because I was worried. I was like, I mean, even as a kid, I was like, I'm okay now, but every time I'm coughing, everyone turns around.
Yeah.
'Cause they feel like I'm,
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
They're worried for you.
Mhm. So
Or there's a dog nearby. Those are the two options.
yeah. A ver. Ay, está María Clara. María Clara Fuentes Tobar nos dice, hola Dani y Nicolás.
Uy, y María Clara
Hola María Clara.
está exponiendo, ¿no es cierto, María Clara?
Qué
que por-
chévere tener a María Clara. por acá.
Claro, hace rato no nos hablábamos. Cuéntenos dónde está exponiendo para decirle a la gente que está en Bogotá que nos escucha. Ya estoy hablando como si
Sí,
estuviéramos
en una
aquí en,
transmisión de
sí.
radio, sí.
en City TV.
Sí,
En Bravísimo estamos.
sí. ¿Cuál es la palabra del día para las
Cuéntenos.
boletas?
Cuenten, invite a la gente, invítela a usted.
Sí, ¿alguna dedicatoria con la siguiente canción? María Clara.
No, así no.
Stassen said, I have to finish a painting for a birthday tomorrow, hoping to paint productively alongside your stream.
Awesome.
Oh, happy to be your companion,
Yes. And
Stassen.
always happy to hear from you, Sasan. Please,
Mhm.
any new anime recommendation, Sasan?
Oh,
Is what's the one that I've seen people? It's like super popular, but Demon Slayer, is that the anime? Is that the anime that people say like, oh, fight scenes are amazing, something like that? Is that good? I trust Sasan. He's gonna be honest with that.
Sergio's sketchbook said,
Yeah.
my wife makes a strange remedy where you cut up an onion into a Tupperware,
Oh no.
then sprinkle a lot of sugar on it, then
no.
leave it in the fridge. It makes a gross liquid that is great for sore throat.
Nope. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Your wife is awesome, by the way.
Maybe
Like, this
that's
is
like the best
incredible.
thing you can
She's
do
amazing.
for sore throat.
Amazing.
No, that's like it
What
can
a
be
woman.
the best remedy,
The
but I
best.
don't know if I could.
We're
have
never
that.
gonna do it. Never. If I see an onion with sugar like festering in my in the fridge, oh, it's going to the garbage.
Mm,
Maybe
we
it gets
have
better in the garbage.
we have a remedy here. I want to know exactly how it is with gelatina de pata.
What?
Mm-hmm.
For colds?
Yep.
What?
For sore throat, yeah. A ver.
Okay, this is all you because I've never heard of this.
So you need milk, something that's called
I'm out.
gelatina de pata.
Which is collagen
A
from a
mint,
cow?
or a holes or a black
What?
holes. Un holes.
Okay, halls. Okay, it started super rudimentary. It started with like milk and like cow collagen, which we make like a gelatin from it. I'm sure other countries do that, but
I love it.
yeah. So milk,
But it doesn't feel like
cow collagen gelatin,
but it doesn't
and then
feel like
halls.
gelatin.
Come on,
No. And
it's marshmallowy.
and thymes?
Oh my god, what?
Tomillo?
Yeah, thyme.
Thyme, yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it thyme?
I think it's
Thyme?
thyme. No,
Thyme?
I
in
think so.
space?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Uh,
Again, great recipe.
Yeah, so you have to melt
Yeah,
the
miraculous. Never gonna do it.
feed gelatin.
Oof.
¿Te gustó gelatina de pata?
Well, it's not quite that. It's just collagen. It's rabbit skin glue if you think about it. That's all it is.
All right. What is gelatina?
Oh no, it's 100%. It's collagen. It's rabbit skin glue.
Gelatina de pata literally means food jello or food custard. In this case, it is legit cow's food custard. It sounds terrible. It's not.
No.
Now,
that's-
before you make faces and get all grossed out or start barfing on the spot,
No, what?
let's see what the recipe contains. 1 cow's food, 3 liters of water, 3 sticks of cinnamon, 1 cup of evaporated milk, 10 whole cloves, 1 tablespoon vanilla, and brown sugar or natural stevia sweetener.
All of that goes
All
into
of that, yeah.
What?
I mean, that's why it's delicious.
No,
Because
I'm
it's like super.
Yeah, I've never been a fan.
It's a
but
candy.
yeah,
So.
it's like pastry.
Ugh.
I need this like super atmospheric. I don't want it to be very like. I want it to be tight, but I want to get there later. What
I'm
happened?
seeing. No, I was looking for gelatina de pata,
Yeah.
and I saw a news
Mhm.
of a. It says the story of a woman that sells gelatina de pata
Mhm.
in cones, in ice cream cones. So it's like an ice cream cone,
Yeah.
but with the hot gelatina de pata.
With hot?
Sí, o sea, recién hecha, así, mira.
Oh. Oh no. No. Again.
I mean, at
so-
first I was kind of terrified, but now I want to try it.
No.
I would like to try it.
No, I was never a fan.
Liat said, "Sounds gross.
No,
gross
it's not
to
real-
me.
It's
No,
not
it's not
really.
as gross.
Well,
It's like,
well,
yeah.
Liat is like vegan, so
yeah.
yeah, but I don't think it's. I really don't think it's gross. Imagine just putting like sugar and milk into rabbit skin glue, and if you try to take away the stench from, I don't know. Well, you probably don't even use rabbit skin glue, Liat, but you probably remember how it smells like or what it looks like from younger years maybe. But no, it's just gelatin. Think of Jello and mixed with milk and sugar, and that's it. That's just it.
Sergio's sketchbook said, "I don't know. Maybe the onion is more interesting than food jelly, but that's just me."
No, you know what? No way. Like what you described, it grosses me out a lot more than the thing is if you see it, because it's very like here in Colombia, it's so normal. They sell it on the street. Like if you're in a red light, people be on the street like selling it. You could buy it off the street when you're driving. No. It's nothing. It's nothing. It tastes like a marshmallow. Really, like a marshmallow on steroids. Let's just say. So no. So I know what that tastes like. The thing that you described, the concoction, and I have to ask you, there may be a bit of witchcraft going in there. So I don't know your wife. She's probably amazing, but I would start, showing some distrust because I don't know.
So I am downloading an image of how it looks.
Yeah, it's harmless.
Yeah, so it looks like this.
Harmless.
Yeah.
Nothing. Now look for the onion recipe. Probably do that in like jails or something.
Caqueiro
Mm.
dice, nunca he sido fan de eso tampoco, Team Coco en la gelatina de pata, jaja.
Yeah. Sí, yo no.
Sí, ya, no.
No. No, cero juicio. O sea.
Liad was saying, where's the food? No, because it's not like a concoction where you have a soup with the ingredients.
You're not munching on like the hoof.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, this is this hoof is a little kind of stiff.
Exactly. It's
Can't
just
bite into it.
Exactly.
No. You know how you get rabbit skin glue that you just boil, the rabbit, and then, you get all that collagen and it evaporates and then that turns into crystals. It's the same thing. It's rabbit skin glue is a gel. It's a gelatin. You could do that with fish. You could do that with rabbits.
Yeah,
the thing
it's
with
like
rabbits,
regular Jello.
Yeah, the thing with rabbits is that they noticed the only reason we use it in art is that they noticed that it was like one of the stickiest of all the animals. Because I'm guessing, when people used to hunt, they probably used a pot or a container of sorts. And after boiling, all the animals that they had hunted, they probably noticed, oh my God, the rabbit, like that thing sticks. They probably said, yeah, those are fine. Like cattle, fine. This fox, fine. This little deer, fine. But the rabbit, yeah. And eventually they were like, hey, we need something sticky to like seal this linen. It's like, oh, I got you. Like rabbit skin. That's what, and that's why we use it. So that collagen is, you could use it with any animal, really.
No, and Jello. I mean, the Jello you buy from the supermarket.
Yeah.
It contains also, it's also made like that.
Oh, yeah. That's a animal product.
Exactly.
I don't know if there's synthetic gelatin.
There is, yeah. But the regular ones, like the ones, like the original recipe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's from animal. Yeah,
it says decaying animal hides, boiled crushed bones, and the connective tissues of cattle and pigs.
Yeah.
So it's the same, and when you eat a Jello, you don't see like all the parts of the animal there.
You don't see the decaying animal.
Exactly.
It's just funny that it can be food or like the strongest glue that you'll ever have, that you'll ever use.
Ahí se alcanza a ver un poquito el celular, ¿no importa?
No, it's fine.
Ah, bueno, es para que no. Ness was saying, reference pic, please.
It's right next on the phone. Right next on the phone.
María Clara dice, es igual que comer masmelo o una gomita, pero casera.
Sí.
Exacto. Sí. Catherine Kenny was saying, hello, Danny, Nicolas, and everyone. Just joining for a few minutes today. Hi, Catherine. I hope you're still here because Catherine was saying hi some time ago.
At 1:30.
The Kunstlich said perfect pronunciation. And I was doubting because I don't remember how I did the pronunciation at first. So maybe...
You always nail it.
I always change it, yeah.
And you always nail it.
And they were also saying in Spanish, hace muchos años que tenía una novia colombiana. La amé mucho, pero ella estaba loca. Qué lástima.
No vamos a preguntar.
No, sí.
Hasta ahí llegó la historia. Gracias, muy amable. Muy amable por la historia. No vamos a meternos más. más.
María Clara, acerca de la exposición,
por favor,
dice,
claro.
hola, jaja. Estaba, pero se repetirá el 16 de junio en Casaminca, en el barrio San Felipe. Entonces ya
Genial, listo.
la gente que esté acá en Bogotá
Puede hacer
puede
ya...
el 16 de junio agendarse para ir a Casaminca a la exposición de María Clara Fuentes Tobar.
Es una exposición colectiva, si no estoy mal.
A la exposición de la que va a ser parte María Clara Fuentes Tobar.
Muchas gracias.
Con todo el gusto. Con todo el gusto, con todo gusto. Marco Delgado dice, una pregunta.
Sí, señora.
Vivo en una zona a unos 600 metros sobre el nivel del mar y el clima es bastante húmedo en invierno. Eso afecta mucho a la conservación de la obra. ¿Ahí en Bogotá tienen ese problema?
No.
Es que yo creo que Bogotá está muy lejos de eso.
No, porque
O sea,
nosotros no
la
tenemos...
distancia al mar, además, es...
Sí, nosotros no tenemos... digamos, obviamente no tenemos mares cerca. Bogotá está en una sabana. O sea, uno sube la cordillera, los Andes, y luego baja y hay toda una sabana que es Bogotá que seguramente uno no debería haber vivido acá, no deberían haber construido acá porque esto era como un pantano. Entonces, Bogotá tiene muchos problemas de lo que son caños ahora en una ciudad, pero que antes pues eran ríos y que seguramente en épocas de lluvia eran ríos que se...
Caudalosos, digamos.
Sí, súper caudalosos. Y entonces hay inundaciones y muchas veces cae mucha agua en Bogotá que no tiene cómo deshacerse de ella. Incluso hay sitios en Bogotá donde o sea, está por debajo del nivel del agua, entonces no hay cómo, o sea, el agua se va a acumular siempre, o sea, siempre va a inundar, es un absurdo. Pero, pero la realidad es que nosotros, pues, como no tenemos temporadas, o sea, nosotros no tenemos invierno, verano, estaciones, no tenemos...
¿Temporadas?
A toda temporada. No, sí. Temporada creo que no está mal dicho.
No, sálvala.
No.
¿Temporadas?
Sí, pero creo que no estoy tan...
¿En qué temporada estás ahorita?
O sea, no dije zoológico. O sea, no dije una palabra como... No dije lasagne. Entonces, ¿qué temporada?
Sigue burlándote.
Pero pues una temporada...
¿En qué temporada vas?
Pero cuéntame si se puede
no
usar,
dice así,
señora Google.
No, dice que no.
¿Dice que no?
Sí, yo puse temporadas de clima.
No,
dice,
porque temporada lluviosa.
Querrás decir estaciones.
Sí.
Entonces.
Nicolás dijo así.
Nicolás, ¿quisiste decir estaciones?
Sí.
Sí, entonces.
Ajá.
Pero si yo digo lasagne.
Ah, lasagne de París.
Sí, lasagne de pollo. Y bueno, ¿qué estabas diciendo? Perdón.
No sé, pues acá como me interrumpen.
¿Qué estabas hablando? Que en las temporadas, como no hay temporadas
Sí,
en Bogotá.
acá es muy extraño. Si acaso de pronto si está haciendo mucho frío, uno dice, uy, no, hace mucho frío y la pintura no se seca tan rápido. Pero la verdad, nunca. La verdad aquí es... O sea, acá no podemos hablar de que es que un día se siente súper húmedo o cosas así. No, hay días que se sienten es un calor así terrible porque el sol pica muchísimo acá cuando, digamos, en las épocas de verano, entre comillas, porque pues no tenemos un verano real, el sol pica muchísimo, muchísimo. Pero de resto no, es estable. En el Ecuador, cualquier país que esté en el Ecuador, pues tiene épocas donde llueve, épocas donde hace sol, pero no son estaciones o temporadas.
Sasson said, I sadly haven't.
No.
So Sasson said.
Yeah. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Nicholas. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Sasson was saying, I sadly haven't watched Demon Slayer, Nicholas.
Yeah.
But recently, I've really been getting into Neon Genesis Evangelion, especially end of Eva.
Yeah.
That's one of the most important works of the medium, I feel.
Oof. Yeah, but it's so weird. I've tried watching, I don't even know how to say it. So, Eva, we're going to call it Eva. I've tried. I started with the movie, so I got nothing. I don't understand anything.
You don't know how to say what?
I don't know if it's Evangelion, Evangelion,
Evangelion.
Evangelion, Eva. I think it's Eva.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eva. But I saw the movie, and I was like, okay, this makes no sense. No sense. I mean, talk about a movie that's done for people that already know the story. But yeah, so I had no idea. And I at first I thought, oh, these are just cool robots. Like, they're the kids that you train to go on, into robots and fight, big monsters. Great. Perfect. But then, no, they don't fight big monsters. They fight angels. Like God's angels. And then they speak of Nietzsche or something like that. And then I was like, okay, I am done. I am so done. I don't even know if it's you should tell me, is it good philosophy? Like, is it proper philosophy when they're trying to do philosophy in Eva? Like, is it proper or is it like ad nerderum philosophy? Because I need to know. Like, how proper is it? And I'm not saying like I'm a proper philosopher, but I don't want to go through, like, if it sounds like rubbish, like I'm always like, okay, come on.
Mm, let's see. You okay?
Yeah, I had like an itchy nose.
Jean Roussin.
Mm.
Oh, hi, Jean.
Oh, maybe you could ask Jean Roussin.
Happy to have you here, Jean Roussin.
Yeah, maybe you should ask Jean Roussin for
Roussin.
the
No,
proper
Roussin.
pronunciation of lasagna. Lasagna.
I said Losange.
Lasagna.
Losange de Poggio. Jean Roussin was saying, lol, ew. Sorry for distracting from the onion jam, which reminds me of milk jam, by the way.
Oh, nice callback.
But I'm wondering,
Yes.
what you do to create a quote-unquote super atmospheric background, several tones close to the same color. Does it need to be grayish to create atmosphere? Do you think? Or could you do it with a more saturated color?
Excusez-moi.
Yeah, don't interrupt me. Respect me.
Yeah. So what I usually do, I don't know if the camera is picking up on it, maybe not, but what is one of my favorite things to do, and I think that's something that I noticed. I'm not forcing it, but I noticed of myself as a painter, and when I noticed it, I realized, okay, that's kind of me. What I'm seeing here, that's kind of me. But one thing that I usually do, I'm very mid-tone heavy for sure. So that's an easy one. I think that's a gimme. So a lot of people have a wider range of value that they work on. And a lot of people, for example, paint on a lighter side of the scale. Whenever I see good friends that paint on higher keys, like for example, Anastasia Pollard. Anastasia is a fantastic painter. And every time I see her, because I've had the blessing of, working alongside her and watching her paint, and she's amazing. Anastasia's just fantastic. But every time I see, like, I know that we are both looking at the same, subject matter. In the cases that we've painted together, we're looking at the same model. So I can have that sensible experience of saying, okay, I would paint this subject matter, this model, this way. Whenever I look at Anastasia, like, it's almost as if her eyes are bigger and there's more light coming into her eyes and she can see more light. Because whenever I see her paintings, they're delicious. It's amazing. That goes without saying. She's a remarkable painter. But I can't see what she sees, and I'm certain that she can't see what I see. So I know that I'm just naturally, because I think we all observe things differently. And when we have to sort of enhance that perception through painting, we realize how very different we see the world. I know that I'm a proper mid-tone painter. Like, I am very mid-tone heavy. I do not paint high-key paintings. I mean, I have to force myself to try and paint those paintings, but naturally I don't do that. And the other thing that I do is, because I'm a mid-tone heavy painter, that means that a lot of my lights and midtones and maybe some darks are going to be bunched together. Because if you're working on a wider a wider scale of value, you have room to either side. You can paint lighter lights and darker darks. But what I usually do is I just bunch all these together, so I don't have as much room to work on. And I do this consciously. Like, I adore this. So that gives me like an upper hand, I would say, just naturally when trying to make something atmospheric, because everything is going to be closer together. That makes things be super, super related to each other. You're going to get harmony of tone if your tone range is very, very small. And the other thing, so because it's smaller, what I tend to do to compensate the fact that I'm working on smaller is to make tiny little changes in hue when I'm working on the same value. So this is all the same value, but right here it's more purple, and a little here it's like greener. That's a little bit grayer. That's a little bit, I don't know, bluer maybe. So I don't see it as a limitation, but I see it as, okay, because I'm working in a narrow field, what can I do to make this look really nice and rich? And the richness, the only way I can speak about richness is by making, tons of little changes. So it almost feels like the painting is gray, but it's a very like scrumptious gray. It's very lively gray. Not saturated. It doesn't have like, I'm not aided by the saturation of color. It's just like alive in the sense that it just kind of vibrates all over the place. There's little changes, little, subtle changes in hue, but always maintaining that responsibility to the value. So yeah, hopefully that answered the question. It sounded like a very strange way of answering that question, but I think that that's, at least for me in my brain, it sounds like the proper way to answer it. So.
Junior González
Sí.
estaba diciendo, your painting is awesome.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if this one is like slowly, very, very slowly going to take shape, but thank you.
María Clara Fuentes dice, sí, es una exposición colectiva, muchas gracias, espero que ustedes puedan ir también.
Gracias,
Muchas
María,
gracias.
por la invitación, muy amable.
Live Veiled Boy, o sea,
Ricardito.
Dice, hola, 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 hello, hello, hello.
Mi rayo de sol, mi luna que me...
eclipse.
La luna que me eclipsa. No, iba a decir como...
¿La luna que me eclipsa?
No. Bueno, eso también.
Mi eclipse de luna suena más bonito, ¿no?
Ya estamos en una canción de Arjona. No, iba a decir la luna que me broncea. Está chévere.
No.
Sí, porque Ricardo es como la vida, es como...
La luna que me broncea.
La luna que me... Sí. Eres la luna que me broncea.
Jean Roussine.
Sí, a mí el sol me quema, pero en cambio, la luna que me broncea.
Jean Roussine was saying, are we just gonna ignore the elephant in the room?
Which is?
The Mona Lisa getting pelted by kids.
Oh, we should discuss this.
And Ricardo said, the Mona Lisa is overrated. There is better portraits in Kenya. I would cake the Mona Lisa any day.
Yeah, we should discuss this. So you know about the story, right, Danny? Yeah.
Yeah, that someone simulated that they needed a wheelchair.
Yeah, they were like full costume, like almost like Johnny Knoxville, like Jackass, when they try to wear like an old person costume.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably so ridiculous. Like in hindsight, I'm sure the guards were like, is that an old lady? No, I think that's a kid. Should we say anything? It's like, maybe not. It's like, hey, old lady, we don't believe you.
Mm.
The fact that he was hiding the cake in like his
in their
clothes or
yeah.
something, I find that hilarious. But
And again,
yes.
I mean, because I've read a lot of things that say like, how dare he damages the Mona Lisa? But there's a glass.
Yeah, he's not. He's doing it knowing that there's no chance in the world. I mean, if you want to speak about a work of art that has no longer any of the properties that made it the work of art that it once was, it's probably that. Now none of us will ever be able to experience that thing that is the Mona Lisa the way you should experience a painting. None of us. So, there's a side of me that always feels robbed, that always feels like, okay, you have your own thing that now exists behind bulletproof glass, but that's not a painting. That's not a painting. It was never a painting. It was always just I don't know. It's just it's probably like an icon of power, of saying like, we have this. It's super important for them to have that. But in reality, it's a painting. There's so many paintings. I mean, the fact that you can go to the National Gallery in London and look at Van Eyck's and put your nose right next to Van Eyck's. The fact that you could go to Rome and literally have Bernini's sculpture just, millimeters away from your face. That shows you that that's how art was meant to be experienced. Yes, there's going to be crazy people in this world that are going to take a cane to a painting, like the drunk, Russian dude did with the Repin painting. Yes, there's going to be people stabbing paintings or throwing acid to paintings, like they did to the Night Watch, to Rembrandt's Night Watch. There's going to be always a crazy person, always. The weird thing is that we as a society have always decided that because on the off chance that there's a crazy person that may come in here one day on a wheelchair and hiding a cake, we have to put this painting, this thing, it's not a painting, we have to put this thing now under bulletproof glass. So what I find it laughable. I love the video of the guard just trying to wipe the cream off of the glass, and it just makes a bigger mess. Oh, I loved it. Because it was harmless. It's absolutely harmless. I don't know how many times you would have to try to break that, hit that with a hammer. You probably can never break that glass. So this is just a thing that's there to be taking photos of. It's just that. It's like, hey, this is the place that all the tours that go to the Louvre want you to stop at. Like, that is the reason people go to the Louvre. And it's sad. It's probably the most exciting thing that has happened in front of that painting for decades. So I don't know. I think the message is, I think it's dumb.
Well, but not for decades, because I remember that some time ago, like, I don't know, 2005 maybe?
I don't remember.
10? Well, that's a wide range, but that someone threw a cup?
What?
I'm not wrong. Wait. Mona Lisa?
Yeah, but it's been under bulletproof glass for decades.
Yeah, well, the cup broke, but not the...
the painting. There's probably not even a painting under there. That's probably like a nice reproduction or something. I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. I just don't like to experience art that way. I don't think a painting was ever meant to be experienced that way. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy trips to museums where there's a sense of like inaccessibility with a work of art.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I mean, this is us. Same.
It was 2009. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But this is my point. That was like, this is us. We have bombed museums. During the war, we bombed museums. So don't give me that. We chose to bomb museums. So we don't care. We don't.
You know what I
And
think?
whatever was left, they would loot, because that's how you get Egyptian stuff in London, or that's how you get like Syrian stuff in France. So no, don't give me your bulletproof glass. Like, don't. Oh, this is precious. Oh, sure. While you've looted, countries for centuries, and while you've, attempted to claim that this is yours, and then say this is mine. But this is mine not just for everyone to see. No, this is mine, but you can't touch it. You can go near it. You can't sneeze. You can't do anything. You can't take pictures. You can't talk loudly. Don't do anything. Don't. No, so I'm sorry, but I mean, a side of me loves museums because people get to experience collections of extraordinary people that lived, in our life, like that have lived in humanity's, time on this earth. But other times I'm like, oh, I hate museums. I just hate them. The way they scream at people when they're taking a photo.
Well, in
Spain.
Museo del Prado.
Yeah. And in, it's like at the Reina Sofia in Madrid. It's like you can take pictures anywhere except in the room of the Guernica.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why? What's the big difference?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure people are like, no, the flash degrades. Oh, stop it. Never heard of like, this painting was in great condition. After a year of like flashing, look at it now. It's like see-through. It's like crumbling. The paint is crumbling. No.
You know what I think would be interesting? That, I mean, I read that they were going to like start an investigation.
Yeah.
Against the person who did that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like how, because they can't say that they were vandalizing art, like a cultural property or whatever.
It's probably intent.
Maybe. Yeah, because I mean, they can say no, but I mean, there's just cake in a glass.
Yeah. So. I'm sure that, But he said, what are we doing to the planet or something?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, he started yelling about the planet, which is fine. Like, that's fine. I never liked stunts like that. I don't think they should be necessary.
Exactly.
I think if those things were more accessible, then people would never find that that's the way they have to. Nobody has ever gone to try and break a Bernini statue. Nobody. And they are right there. They're right there. Like, you could touch it if you want to. You could. But when they give you liberty, people think, like, I always believe that if you treat people like animals, they're going to behave like animals. Always. But if you give people, like, if you teach them and you educate them and if you give them liberties, they're going to be aware. It's like, no, this is beautiful. We should respect it. And that's it. Like, it's a very simple thing. Granted, there's going to be crazy people. There's always going to be somebody who's crazy. But I don't see how humanity changes because there's one person that decided to do something absurd. I don't know.
So let's read what people are
please.
saying about it.
Yeah. We can have a good conversation / debate over this.
Lázaro Olier dice, la peluca que llevaba era re falsa, jajaja.
Sí, parecía, no sé, que parecía un disfraz, o sea, era absurdo.
Ricardo dice, la cara que tiene es súper falsa. Y dice, Mona Lisa is iconically garbage, change my mind. Camila Ogerman said, the suffragette with the Venus de Velázquez. ¿Sí lo leí fatal? Iba a decir si lo leí bien, pero no. ¿Sí lo leí fatal? Nicolás.
Pero haciendo referencia a qué, discúlpame.
No sé.
Es que sí, necesito un poquito más de contexto.
Es que no, pues yo no lo tengo.
Bueno, disculpa.
Ya. La que rompieron. Esta.
Sí. Sí, no, va a haber gente, va a haber gente. Pero entonces uno puede decir, bueno, por gente loca entonces ya todos nos perdimos la oportunidad de disfrutar cualquier cosa. porque una persona desbalanceada hizo algo absurdo y pues ya, entonces uno empieza a vivir es ante la posibilidad remota, porque es que tiene que ser remota, o sea, no estamos hablando de cosas terribles, ¿no? Estamos hablando de personas que atacan obras de arte en museos. O sea, yo creo que si uno hace cuentas de los decenas de millones de personas que deben visitar los museos grandes de este planeta y cuántas personas, o sea, y uno ve ese número cada año o cada década y se pone a ver cuántos ataques ha habido a obras de arte, o sea, el porcentaje tiene que ser casi que invisible. Entonces, no sé, yo no sé, o sea, me pone a pensar mucho, no sé si estoy tan de acuerdo que todo tenga que cambiar porque hay una posibilidad pequeñísima, pequeñísima. Y entonces uno tiene que tener esa conversación con un niño pequeño, decirle que le preguntan, oye, ¿y por qué eso está detrás de un vidrio? ¿Y por qué la gente no se puede acercar? No, pues mira, porque es que esta es una de las cosas más importantes de la humanidad. Que uno ahí ya empieza a decir, ¿en serio? ¿En
Pero la
serio?
razón por la que lo pusieron en el vidrio fue después de que le echaron ácido.
No, por eso, o sea, pero
Sí, o sea, se la robaron, luego le echaron ácido, luego pusieron el vidrio. De nuevo, no estoy justificando,
no,
pero
yo
estoy
sé, es que
diciendo,
para mí todo ese drama
sí,
es
sí,
porque
sí,
la Mona Lisa es como una telenovela.
sí.
Para mí todo ese drama es el que ha ayudado, todo eso, todo lo que hay alrededor de eso, es lo que ha ayudado a que se vuelva una cosa que ya no es una pintura, es que no
See,
es.
the cons Lich was saying something related to that. They
Yeah,
were saying just a thought.
please.
Maybe the attacks on art take place also because some artworks are idealized to an extent that they stand for something general, but are no longer an artwork in themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
they also said back to basics.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it's no longer a painting. Not really. It can't be enjoyed as a painting, can't be even be enjoyed as an image. So much traffic, so much there's so many people surrounding it, so much going on, so much noise, so it's absurd. I can
Marcelo,
imagine it being closer to how people would flock to see Jesus on a toast. You know how they would visit, like, oh my God, there's this wall that had just a spot, a smudge that now looks like Jesus, and then you just make a procession to see the smudge, Jesus smudge. It's kind of like that, but it's not a painting. I don't know. I don't mean to sound bitter about it. I just don't. There's something that I've never that part of art has never really been something that I'm like proud of or attracted to. I don't know.
So let's read some more comments about what they were saying.
Yeah.
Marcelo Peralta said Mona Lisa has become more advertisement than art. Jean Roussine said, having seen it recently, the only thing that happens in front of the Mona Lisa is usually selfies in a row 6 deep. I do worry that it might encourage open season on less protected paintings, though. Alejandro Morales said, there's a conspiracy theory that the original Mona Lisa isn't even on display. Apparently, the original is somewhere in a vault in the basement.
And we're saving it when we go to Mars or something and we repopulate another planet or
Liet said, the answer, Nicolas, is money.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
Well, I don't know if it's money though. I think it's a symbol of power. It's a symbol. It's become a symbol, but it's not quite money because money at some point in works of art is just abstract. It's kind of stupid. It's very hard to say, well, how do we, if they stole Las Meninas, what does that mean? Are you weirded out because they stole probably I don't know, maybe
Well,
it's
it
a
would be
billion
super
dollar painting? Let's say it's a
complicated.
$1 billion painting.
How could you take the Meninas?
No. Let's say
Out
it's yeah.
It's like the biggest.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of people, with a lot of help.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
But
no one noticed
are you shocked
that the
because it
meninas
was
were stolen.
worth $1 billion, or are you shocked because it's, they suddenly stole this painting, and there's been a bunch of stolen paintings that are probably in basements of like, mafia, I don't know, very dark people in this world. Because you can never show them publicly. You would never be able. Those stolen paintings, the one from the paintings that were stolen from Boston, like you can't show those anywhere. They're useless in that sense. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Again, we're talking about us. We're talking about the same people that this, and I say us when I say us, I say humanity. It doesn't matter where we live in the world, what gods we pray to. To me, humanity is one. So this is us that blew up the Buddhas from the mountains. We blew them up. This is us that we blow museums up because who cares? Like, really? Honestly, in wars, like, you have no issue in bombing hospitals or places where refugees are there, women, children, elderly. You don't care. You bomb anything. We'll bomb anything. So, but it's funny how they would say no, or maybe we should be careful with the museum. But it's not because you're like, no, we don't want to bomb something that's like precious. No, it's because you want it. You want it. You want to go to that city, conquer the city, and then take all that stuff back. It's horrendous. I don't know. This is us. This is our history. So
Alejandro Morales said they could argue he was protesting against that way of displaying art.
Well, but that's not what he did, right?
He
said we have to care about Earth.
Ricardo said, ain't nobody trying to destroy Sorolla's paintings. But let's be honest, it's Sorolla, boy is god of light and brush strokes.
Yeah, when you go to Sorolla's house, they're all right there. They're in front of you. Arm's reach.
Yeah.
And aside of you could say, oh my God, something is going to happen. One day, something is going to happen. There's going to be a crazy person that comes in here and they are going to, ruin one of these paintings. Like, you could always think like that, and I guess that's understandable to think like that because the world is a weird, horrible place sometimes. But we can also think, how wonderful is this? How beautiful it is to have these paintings right there in front of me. Nobody's nagging me. Nobody's saying anything. I can be in there in front of this painting, in this easel, in front of his easel, looking at his, this painting of Clotilde, and I could be there for hours as if I was painting it. It's amazing. So we can either say, oh my God, I'm just waiting for the moment that somebody's going to mess this up and it's going to mess it up for everyone and it's going to happen and I'm sure it's going to happen. Or we can just say, hey, you know what? We are terrible sometimes, but isn't it nice when we remind ourselves that we can live a nice life? Like, we deserve a better life where you can just trust your fellow human being and say, yeah, just, take care of the painting. Don't do anything stupid. Don't.
Julia Tover.
Marina.
Dice, para mí lo único bueno de eso fue que al visitar el Louvre, me gocé un montón de salas que estaban vacías, aunque el museo estaba repleto. Y
Sí,
Alejandro dice, Julia, yo hice lo mismo.
La gente va como arriados a ver, yo me acuerdo la última vez que fui, siempre está la flechita, es como, hey, siga esta flechita si quiere ver la Mona Lisa.
Liad was saying, it doesn't have to be someone crazy. Oh, a kid put his feet through a painting because he tripped by accident.
I know. Well, accidents are going to happen. And
Yeah.
a dude kind of broke a finger of a statue, I remember. And another kid put a soda can through a painting. No, those things are going to happen. Come on, it's an accident. Those things are going to happen. I mean, at the same Louvre, we have the victory of Samothrace, I don't know,
Mhm.
the Nike statue that is headless and armless because of time,
Yeah.
not because of anything else, because of time. She's headless, she's armless, she's just a body with like these beautiful wings, and it's incredible. Thank God time destroyed half of that sculpture, because nobody would have cared for that sculpture if it was complete. I can assure you that. In the same way that the Belvedere torso, the one that Michelangelo said that, was done by gods, that torso is famous. The one that's at the Vatican, at the Vatican Museum. That torso is famous because there's no head, there's no, like, the legs are not complete, there's no arms. It's just this, this torque in a torso,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And it's not only that. I mean, the Venus de Milo,
Yeah.
also in the Louvre,
Yeah, imagine if they
without
were
arms.
complete.
Exactly.
Imagine if they were complete. I'm 100% sure that we would care less. We couldn't care less about them. Well, we could probably care. Let's give ourselves some credit. We would care, but we wouldn't be fascinated with them.
Olivia Raquel Cota mandó un emoji como unas manos lavándose.
Mm.
Sí, quiero pensar que es
¿Que estoy sucio?
cuando limpiaron el vidrio del pastelazo. O
bueno.
esparciendo la crema del pastelazo.
Bueno.
Camila O'Gorman dice, haciendo referencia a las obras atacadas, la sufragista le hizo un tajo con un cuchillo a la Venus de Velázquez.
Sí, quedó como un Lucho Fontana.
Y Camila O'Gorman dice, Ricardo, te va a encantar la película The Mona Lisa Curse, que analiza todo eso.
Sí, es chévere. ¿Tú te viste esa alguna vez, Linda? Es chévere, es súper chévere. Cuentan como, o sea, históricamente cuentan todo lo que ha sido, lo que te digo, es como una telenovela. Es la telenovela de lo que es la Mona Lisa, lo que políticamente, como también sugiere la Mona Lisa.
Sí.
Es súper chévere. Yo no sé si en esa, no. Creo que es una biografía. No, creo que es como autobiografía. ¿Será autobiografía? No me acuerdo. Pero o era un libro de Damien Hirst, que pues a mí no me causa gracia ni nada, pero que yo le he contado varias veces que a él le preguntaron que si le darían la Mona Lisa o los derechos de reproducción de la Mona Lisa
Pues
cual
los
quisiera, y de los
derechos de
derechos. Él dijo, a mí no me importa.
O sea,
deme la capacidad de poder ponerla en un coaster, en un plato, en un vaso, en un calendario, en lo que sea.
Pues porque eso es lo que produce tanta plata.
Exacto.
O sea.
Y produce tanta plata porque, pues, es una cosa intocable.
Sí.
Entonces, si no la puedo ni siquiera ver.
Y con todas estas cosas se vuelve más intocable aún.
Todo eso le añades otro capítulo.
Le añade valor. Es como
otro capítulo en la vida de
la novela de la Mona Lisa, sí. Mi Mona Lisa.
Ridículo. ¿Quién sabe? Es como tan arbitrario haber escogido
¿Cómo se llamaría tu...
¿Mi Mona Lisa?
No, a la novela de la Mona Lisa, Nicolás.
Monita retrechera.
Pésimo.
Pero,
no me la veo.
No, pues no sabía que me la ibas a juzgar así.
Marcelo Aguirre was asking, what do you think is the purpose of paintings?
Oh, I don't know if they have purpose. I mean, I can't speak about the purpose once a painting is socialized, because I don't think that belongs, that act doesn't quite belong to the painter. But, I guess I can only speak of myself, because I don't know if the reason that I paint is the reason that Velázquez painted. So I can't suppose that my reason should apply for all of painting. And it would be also kind of dumb of me to think that the reason somebody painted, 4 centuries ago is the reason I paint, because that doesn't make sense either. So I paint because it's moment. I mean, in the end, like if we start with what I'm left with. So I don't really quite care so much about the resulting painting. I've kind of established that in my life. which is kind of backwards because you would say, what do you mean? You can't paint and not care about the painting. That's the reason you paint. The verb paint, kind of suggests that you're going to be painting something. So how could that something be of less importance? Well, it is. It can be. Like, you can teach yourself to realize that if you take this away, like if I throw this away right now, if I take it away, rip it apart, throw it to the garbage, like, was it meaningless? Was the hour and a half that we've been talking / painting, was it meaningless? Was it pointless? Is there nothing left there for you to learn from, to grow from? Like, if this disappeared, is there nothing left? And that's been kind of my path. And I've noticed that no, actually the things that are left are far more, they outweigh the thing, this thing, the obvious thing. And I know that may sound like, okay, sure. Like, if people thought that way, there would be no museums, there would be no Rembrandt, no nothing. Like, if Rembrandt did the Night Watch and then proceeded to like roll it up and throw it to the fire, like, what was the point? What was the point? But the thing is, you don't have like this social responsibility when you paint. You don't have to say, oh, I did this great painting. Now I have to show it to everyone with the hopes of changing everyone's lives. Because that's what we want to do through centuries. This is my legacy, and people are going to look at it. Doesn't matter what time. It could be centuries from now. And they're going to be moved by it and moved to be what? Better people. I don't know. Whenever I see or whenever I see people hinting at that, I'm always like, oh, okay, you think very highly of yourself and of painting. There's ugly paintings out there. There's paintings. Imagine carrying the burden every time you pick up a brush of thinking like you have to change future generations. Like, nobody would have painted. Rembrandt wouldn't have painted. Nobody. Who can stand that weight? So I don't think so. What I've noticed about myself, and maybe I don't have answers here. This is not meant to have answers. What I've noticed about myself is that this doesn't matter, that everything that surrounds it matters the most. And that way, when that matters the most, you're not just thinking, I'm a good painter if I paint good paintings, and I'm a trash painter if I paint trash paintings. Because I don't think, if you care about painting and you happen to always struggle with painting, your life doesn't have to be miserable. And the value of painting, of the act of painting, cannot be dependent on, this really weird idea of how we perceive the quality of something. So, which is very hard, by the way. Like, I was a teacher for, art school teacher, college, visual arts faculty teacher, 12 years. Trust me, it never gets easy to evaluate art. Never. It's never easy. It never gets easier. It's always weird. It's always uncomfortable. You always feel like you get it wrong. You always make a decision and you piss somebody off. You always feel it's unfair to somebody the way you evaluated something. So it's always strange, very, very weird. So all these things have kind of, in my life, have bunched up to show me that, yeah, maybe it's a little more complicated. You could just say, like, the easiest way to answer is like, no, this is a form of expression. And that's it. This is the way I express myself. Period. I mean, that's a huge blanket, by the way. That's a fine answer. It's okay. But that's like, oh, okay. It's pointless to have this conversation because the way I express myself, it could be anything. That's the way I dress. That's what I eat. That's how I speak. That's, what I choose to buy when I go to the grocery store. That's everything. Everything you do is like a choice about the person that you want to be. So I don't know. That could mean anything and everything. So I don't know. That one to me is always like, oh, okay. That's like if you're in a beauty pageant and you just like, hey, what is this? It's the way I express myself. Oh, great. Be the best you. That's great. But that doesn't give room for anything for like a proper conversation to be had. So what I know about myself is that when I paint, I go through motions that are very, very cool and very specific to painting. which helped me or take me to a place where there's a ton of self-reflection going on, a ton of it. And maybe that sounds a little too, I don't know, arcane to people, or maybe that sounds like, okay, that's, that's like a bad yoga teacher. But to me, no, it's super, super important. Like, if I didn't have this space, I wouldn't be as comfortable with myself as I am right now. If I didn't have painting, I would struggle more as a human being. That to me is like super simple. Like, that equation is super simple. If I don't paint, if I think of my last 25 years, sure, I would be a human being. I could live, I would be alive, I would breathe, but socially and emotionally, I would not be the same human being, 100%. So I always think, like, if I take that away from my life, what would happen? And I wouldn't die. I would still pretty much say, no, there's a life worth living for sure. But I wouldn't be in the place where I'm at right now. And when I evaluate the place where I'm at right now, and and understanding why painting is a really important part of where I am right now, I realize, well, there's one thing that I have. I know who I am, but I have peace of mind. I have peace of mind. I'm not here trying to say, like, no, this is sort of bad religion, or this pseudo spiritual. No, no, no. This gives me a ton of peace, like a ton of perspective, a ton of peace of mind. Like, there's something to be said about spending 3 hours looking at a bottle cap and trying to paint it. There's something about it that's kind of almost like otherworldly, because it sounds absurd. It's like, why would you do that, dude? Like, why are you painting a bottle cap? And it's like, yeah, because it's not about painting a bottle cap. Like, it's a bottle cap. I know it's a bottle cap. But there's something strange about choosing to look at a bottle cap for hours. And not only look at it, but say, okay, if I had to, look at these things that are in front of me that are, invisible, because who cares about bottle caps? Like, what happens when I try to interpret that through a bunch of colors, a bunch of like mud with color? And what does that say about me? What does that say about how I see the world? What my priorities are, what my hierarchies are in life. What does it say about the things that I care about and that I want to be better at in my life? Or, it's a very strange, very particular moment with yourself that extends, quite a lot when you paint. So I think that has way more value than just making a pretty painting. And that's why I'm probably very, and I'm sorry I stopped painting, but that's why I'm probably very, I sound like old man just yelling at the clouds when I think of what happens with paintings that are stripped from the real value, which is just being able to, if you could just take a chair with you to a museum and just sit in front of a painting, just look at it for as long as you want. It's like almost visiting an old friend, and you're just having these conversations in your brain, and you can go back like the next week or the next month, or maybe you don't see each other for like 5 years and you look at each other again and you're like, oh, I missed you. That's so amazing. But that's not what you get when you're like, Gene was saying, you're 6 rows back, arms extended as if you were in a stupid concert, just trying to get a picture. And then you just have to look at your phone and say, okay, yeah, bucket list. Like, we ticked that off. I guess I saw whatever this is. I saw the, Mona Lisa. Yeah, sure. I was in line for a bunch of hours, and I was, walked like cattle, and I was in this room and I saw it and I took a picture, and yes, I can post it on my social media just to show people that I was here. But that's not how you experience painting. That's how you experience, like, stupid stuff on earth, but not painting. So I don't know. So the reason I don't think it's easy to say, I don't think it's it's an easy conversation when you say, okay, what's the role of painting? What's the responsibility of painting? What's the social responsibility of painting? Why do you paint? Why paint at all? I don't think that's something that people can answer for us, because I don't care. Like right now, I could be in front of like the most prestigious, I don't know, art historian or art critic or curator, and they could be telling me the thousands of reasons why it's pointless to paint right now. And I would listen respectfully, and then I would just say goodbye. I'm going to go home and paint, because I really don't care why you would ever feel that you have the ability to tell me that I can't find value in painting. Like that's not yours to take away from anyone. So I don't know. But maybe we can maybe you guys want to try to, in a comment, try to succinctly express, maybe what painting kind of means for you, and we can share that. But I don't think it's the same for all of us. It's very, very different for every single person that's here right now, and it's very different for every painter in this world. And it's meant to be. It's just meant to be.
Roslyn said, hello, everyone.
Oh, my Ro.
Hi, Ro. How are you?
Super happy to hear from you. I DM'd Rosalind, so
yeah.
Hope everything is a little bit better. Eat some bananas, for God's sake. Bananas.
Rosalind said, hello, everyone. Painting on point, as always. Danny, your hair looks awesome. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Here's my cold remedy from earlier. Run very hot water. Stand in a steamy bathroom for a bad cough. It can help.
That was my mother's.
My mom,
that's a very mother's thing for us here.
It wasn't, at least not for me. It wasn't in the bathroom. But my mom used to boil water. Yeah,
but that's a little more dangerous, sadly.
Well, and the other one uses a lot more water.
I know.
So, Julia es lo máximo. Me cae muy bien.
What did Julia say?
Dice, quiero pensar nombres para la novela, pero no se me ocurren buenos. Sería algo así como La Pasión de Lisa, mi Gioconda. Jaja, no sé, ayuda.
Que se está lobera, Julia.
Pero si es una novela, La Pasión de Lisa, yo creo que entraría al ranking de las vistas, de las más vistas. No sé qué estoy diciendo. And Rosalind was also saying, you explain your purpose to paint so well, Nicolas. Painting is peace and brings peace. I completely agree. Ty was saying, how do you handle negative criticism? I only discovered this channel because someone was criticizing a lot of modern artists, including you.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's totally fine. But I don't know. Is it different than just anyone criticizing you as a human being? Like, is it any different than, maybe like let's put this example. Election day, we just went through elections. Is it any different from sitting with your family and having a difference of opinion about anything? Anything. It could be from the densest of things. It could be about gun control or religion or abortion or any super tough conversation that you're going to have. Is it any different than somebody saying, I just don't care for your beliefs. I just don't like what you believe in. I don't agree with your beliefs. Like, that to me is like tough, but that's what we deal with every day. I mean, that's every Thanksgiving dinner for every single family, I think, in the US. So why would it feel any different than just somebody saying, I don't like your painting? It's like, fine, sure. It's like, I don't know. It's like somebody told me, if I don't like your shoes, okay, sure. I don't like the tattoos of your kids' drawings and your arms and your neck and your hands. Like, that's stupid. Okay, dude, that's why I have them in my body and not you. And the paintings that I do that's why I paint them, not you. That's fine. It's totally fine. I do think at some point, what would I gain? Like, if we get into this argument with this person that would criticize me or Danny or anyone else here about their work. Like, when we argue, what's the point? Like, we have to like stop and just think for a second. Like if we start arguing, like what's the point? Do I just want to win the argument and then just make them look like a fool? Or do I want to convince them that what I do has value? Because I don't want to do that. If you don't find value in what I do, that's fine. My job isn't to like try to convince every single human being out there that my work has value. Because why would I do that? Does that mean that because I think that everyone else validates, like if I'm able to convince everyone about the value of what I do, then I'm validated by people's opinion?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's absurd. Why would you ever do that in life? Like, don't waste your energy. So why are you doing that? Just to convince them, just to win the argument, just to argue? 'Cause a lot of people love to argue. But what would be the point? And I am super bad at arguing. Like, it's not, even Danny and I, when we argue, sometimes our arguments are like so dumb. We argue about the dumbest of, I mean, we argue about serious stuff, but we usually just argue about the stupidest of things. When the funniest thing is when we're arguing about our, whatever it is, the dumb things we argue, and Samu and Fer are here, and they're like, why are you guys fighting about this dumb thing? And we're like, no, we don't even fight. This is not even fighting. This is us. Like, it's just us trying to, I think we never try to convince each other. Like, I know who the person that Danny is, and she knows who I am. So it's not really about convincing each other. I think it's the way we start to say, hey, I believe in this. And it's like, hey, I believe in this.
Exactly. And I think that arguing in that way is healthy because, as you said, there's nothing that everyone loves. People are just, I mean, they have different things that they like, things that they believe. So they're always prompt to arguing. But I think that the problem comes when people try to censor ones that don't think as they do. So,
Right.
And that happens in art a lot, as in life. But talking about art, it happens that there's people that say, no, I mean, I'm sorry, but this is not art. And we've talked about that. And I think that that's, at least for me, that's sad because you are putting an obstacle to try and understand the beauty in other types of art. So I think that art is a lot of things. Art is, I mean, it can be a lot of things. So it doesn't make sense to try to argue to someone, no, our channel is a very cool art channel because of this and that and that. I mean, there's a lot of people that may not like it, and that's fine. Because that's what happens with art all the time.
Oh, there's a lot of people that don't like me for the fact, there's a lot of people that don't like me for the fact that paintings are cheap. There's a lot of people that don't like me for the fact that I paint on paper. It can be that, like, superficial. And a lot of people, well, they're irresponsible. They're promoting this idea that there's no real discipline to painting. That's horrible. And it's like, oh God, like, did these people know the 20th century of art happened? So no. So I tend to, like, I will seek those moments with people I respect. So chances are that if I saw my teachers, if I saw Max or if I saw Steve, and if they wanted to speak to me, I wouldn't ask them to speak about my work. I wouldn't just tell them, hey, look at this, tell me what you think. No, I would have a conversation, and if they felt they wanted naturally, organically to speak about what I do, I would listen.
Yeah.
I would so listen. Because those are my teachers. So in life, I have people I respect. With Danny, many times I'm insecure about things, and I ask her, how do you feel about this? And the weird thing is, sometimes I ask her and I'm super insecure, but in my mind, I already have the answer, but I need to argue with that answer a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to hear myself argue a little bit just to say, no, I think I knew I wanted to stop, or I think I knew that this was off.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny doesn't go Well, if you knew, why the fuck are you asking me? Like, don't ask
No.
me. No, because we know that
And it
that's
also
not.
happens with me. I mean, sometimes I'm like, what should I do? Like A or B? And you're like, B totally. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do A. And it's fine. I mean, because I think that the thing there is that it's different. The type of criticism, which is trying to like destroy the things or just trying to invalidate, again, talking about art, some type of art, or trying to say, no, this is not an artist. This is an artist. I think that doesn't go anywhere. But what you were talking about your teachers, I think that when criticism is trying to construct you, like it's coming from a loving place, it's completely different. And I think that you should receive that type of criticism. But again, know what criticism you're receiving. Because as you were saying, you pay attention to a lot of things that some people say, but it would be hell if you pay attention to every single thing that every single person says about every single painting or sculpture or whatever you do.
Oh yeah, you can't live that life.
Exactly,
Come on,
'cause-
nobody can stand that.
Exactly, and you're never gonna have everyone happy with what you're doing. So, yeah. Ty said the guy who was criticizing you said your art was too flat and not 3D like Diego Velázquez art. I asked him to paint something and he got very angry.
I'll be honest here. If the criticism is that I can't paint like Velázquez, I'm fine. I'm super okay with that.
Yeah, that's a statement. It's like,
trust me. Like, I think that's a curse that we're all born with. I think that when we are born, like Cinderella style, the what are they called? The fairy godmothers. They show up and they just say, "You will never paint like Velázquez," and that's it. That's the burden that we have to live with.
I mean, it's like if someone told me like, "Hey, I don't like your sculptures because they're not like Bernini's sculptures," I would be like, "Oh yes, they are not.
No.
They're not that, and they're never gonna be that."
Yeah. Let me tell you things that I can't do. I can't play the guitar like Hendrix either.
You can't paint like Rembrandt.
I can't play football like Messi either. I know it's a shock. I know this comes as a shock, but I like football, and I know. I do not play like Messi. I'm not as good as Messi.
Yeah.
I know, people, like, settle down. I know some of you are just falling off your chair, but it's true. Sorry to disappoint so many people out there, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can live with that one. I am going to sleep well tonight knowing that.
And it's something you knew.
Because guess what? I have known that every single day since I picked up a brush. Every single night, every single day that I live and breathe and I sit down and try to paint, my brain always tells me, okay, we had lunch. Yes, we're going to set up the palette. You suck because you're not as good as Velázquez, and let's get the paint. Yeah, so that is a truth.
Acrylic Happy Painting was saying nice painting.
Thank you.
Camila Ogorman was sending some crying, laughing emojis. Ricardo dice, ha 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 ha, LMAO. I'll never paint like Sargent or Sorolla. Ha ha ha. Liat said, yeah, I also don't paint like Sargent. What can you do?
What? You fraud. You had me convinced of... I mean, how... What other lies have you told me, Liat? What is this?
Lola Onigiri dice, yo no entiendo cuál es el objeto de buscar siempre un comparativo con el trabajo de los demás. Eso es muy cierto. Eso es muy cierto porque en este momento estamos haciendo el comparativo con Velázquez.
Bueno,
y uno dice, no, pues...
Bueno, voy a decir una cosa. Voy a decir algo que puede ser súper controvertido. So I'm going to say something super controversial here. And I know what I'm about to say. But I think we have a better YouTube channel than Velasquez's one. I really do think. I think on that area we have him beat. I mean, I know this is weird. I know he's been dead for centuries, so he can't defend himself. I know internet probably meant like fishing net when he was alive. But I think Our Painted Lives is a much better channel than the one that Velázquez doesn't have because he's dead for centuries. So, suck it.
Bueno,
Velázquez.
lo que estaba diciendo
In
era que yo
your
siento...
cara.
Bueno,
Sorry.
que lo que Lola dice es muy cierto. Lo que Lola dice es sobre siempre buscar un comparativo con el trabajo de los demás, porque
Sí.
lo que, o sea, estaba diciendo que la gente está haciendo una comparación con Velázquez y uno dice, no, pues sí, pero también es muy charro cuando uno está de pronto en la universidad y es como, no, pero es que tu pintura no es la pintura de ella o de él o de quien sea.
Mm.
Entonces termina siendo algo como súper tóxico porque no se aprecia el trabajo de una persona por ser el trabajo de una persona,
Mm.
sino que siempre se busca que ese trabajo tenga algo más del trabajo de esta persona. Y es que a mí me gusta, pero me gustaría más si se pareciera a la pintura de ella. Pero es que me gustaría más si tu escultura se pareciera a la de él. Y eso no está bien porque no es una manera, o sea, nunca uno va a estar satisfecho. Porque pues si uno pudiera poner ahí como un caldo y empezarle a mezclar como...
Sí, no. El arte
que
no es como un
quiero tener...
Frankenstein.
Exacto. O sea,
así, en donde uno mezcla todas las partes que
exacto.
parecen perfectas.
Exacto. Entonces, sí, muy cierto lo que dice Lola. Jair Piñeros decía exacto, Lola, porque Lola estaba diciendo, es decir, si fueras Nicolás y pintaras como Diego, ¿seguirías pintando como Diego? Claro que no, Nicolás buscaría ser Nicolás en su pintura.
Pues sí, patético
igual
uno
uno
vivir
solo
la
puede
vida
ser
de
uno.
otra persona.
Ujú.
¿Qué tal una oportunidad que uno tiene en esta vida, la única que tenemos? Bueno, no sé si crean en reencarnarse. Iba a decir, no sé si crean en reelección. Con las elecciones de Colombia muy metidas en la cabeza. Pero no sé si crean en la reencarnación. Pero uno tiene una pinche oportunidad en esta vida y va a vivir uno la vida de otra persona. No.
Jair Piñero said, oh damn, you just crossed the line, Nico. Unsubscribe.
I know. Please
Mm,
don't take your upvotes to Velázquez's channel. Because that would hurt.
Camila Ogorman said, well, maybe we can't play like Messi, but I'm sure we can play like Messi. Like Messi con Y.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got him beat there. Yeah, I'm messier than him for sure.
Ricardo dice, Nico, Dani, have you guys ever seen this live epic? The
Yes,
Muka in
I
real
have.
life?
Yeah.
Just curious.
I have.
And if you have, I'm so jealous.
Tremendous. Yeah, I have. There's so many examples of great paint. I mean, that's a great Czech example of that, moment of time. But it is tremendous. It is a feat. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's-
I haven't.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing.
I haven't seen it in real life.
Oh, it's enormous. It's a series of paintings that are enormous. Because Mucha, people know Mucha by, posters, theater posters. He was pretty much an illustrator, to be honest, and which is totally fine, by the way. You guys know this already in our channel. But he did this to, I don't really know what prompted him to do this. I don't know if it was state financed or public collection. I forget. So I have that little gap in my knowledge, but I'll look for that. But yeah, he did these enormous paintings where you're like, oh my God, like, of course he's an artist. He's like an integral artist. Of course he's a painter. Because he didn't paint that much. There's not a ton of painting outside, this masterwork. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. But what's the sad thing? That each country has like their own and particularly like Eastern European countries. Not all of them, but they are blessed to have like their own amazing painters, particularly painters from that time, like late 19th century. And there's some stuff everywhere. I mean, there's in Budapest in Hungary, there's amazing paintings, 19th century paintings. In Poland, there's incredible 19th century paintings, like, stuff that it hits your gut, you cry, like they're so good, so good. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, but you know what the cool thing is, Ricardo? Because this was Ricardo asking, right? No? Sorry if it wasn't.
Yes.
Okay, Ricardo, if you go to Europe, and you'll see, like in life, like, no, but where's Ricardo? Isn't he in like Spain? Yeah, he's in Spain. No, Ricardo. So you have come on. Just take a train or take 5 trains. Yeah, go to the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like, it's hard for us. Like, imagine if you were in South America, because I know Ricardo is from originally South American. So, no, imagine if you were here. Like, it's tough.
No. Ricardo said, I'm in Florida, USA.
Florida. Okay. So, no, but you're in Florida. Come on. Plain, like,
well,
get your, but have a plan.
It's a better excuse.
Yeah.
That if you were in
Spain.
I
know. I'm just, there's no obstacles for me in my life. I always try to believe that there's no obstacles, but no, F this. Like, give yourself like 1 year plan, and whatever shitty job that you have to do, whatever stupid stuff that you have to, do, I mean, legally, but do it and save money for a year and just take a plane and go to if you're like already in Europe, you could probably land in Paris and not just visit the Czech Republic. You could go to like 5 countries with like very little money.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ricardo said, I'm in Florida, USA. Kill me. Because they were saying the kill me is key.
Florida Keys. Florida kill me.
Drew Thompson.
Yeah, but you could do that. I just wanted to say, no, you could do this. You could do this. Make it like a life thing, like a cool life thing. Just give it a shot. I remember that when I wanted to make this super long trip that I did to Europe, I wanted to do it and I was planning on doing it, but like every artist, because we're all like that, I had a show, and in my mind I was already thinking, I'm going to sell out this show, and with that money I'm going to go and travel to all these places. When I was younger, this was like 20 years ago, and I did it, and once they paid me, the first thing I did was like go and spend like, I don't know, like 60% of all that money buying tickets and planning my trip. And it was one of the best moments of my life. So you can do this. And what I was going to say, I worked for that show for a year and a half. I spent painting for that show. So you can do that. Just have that plan. Put some posters of like, Slav Epic in your wall and be like, we are 400 days away. You can do it.
Bueno.
Sorry.
Julia
Motivational
dice,
moment.
jaja, ya. Julia dice, jaja, gracias Dani por tu support a mi humor.
Ush.
Tus chistes siempre me dan mucha risa. Ay, Julia.
Y no dice nada.
Gracias,
mío.
Julia.
Sí, neglect.
Drew Thompson said, he paints on the left, he paints on the right. Nicolas Uribe makes Velázquez look
There we go. Well,
if the art
we have a
world,
cheer
big
now.
football chance. Alexa Huang said, hi, just recently discovered your channel. Want to say thanks for such great content to both Nicolas and Danny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa.
Very kind.
And Alexa was saying, one question about the surface.
Yes, please.
Are you painting on paper? Is
Yes.
it the Arches paper?
No, I know
or
that that's...
any type of paper is okay for you?
So, yeah, short answer would be yes to that last question. I think any type of paper you can paint on.
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to
Honestly.
say, well.
yeah, if it's about painting on something, yeah, sure, you can paint on any sort of paper. That's totally, you could paint on printer paper if you wanted to. Is it going to be great? Or are you going to find yourself facing a bunch of obstacles that make it a little bit harder? Sure. Can you paint on it? Sure. I mean, there's no reason why you can paint on it. I would listen very carefully to the people that would say, no, you cannot paint on that paper. Because I don't think I mean, it is possible to paint on that paper. We should try that one time. Because I've been wanting to do a week with like the cheapest surface and the cheapest paint and the cheapest brushes that I can get. And to go through that and say, hey, we're going to use this really, crappy paper that we got off the craft store for nothing. We could like take photos of the prices for everyone. And then do paintings. And can I say something? I have not painted those paintings. I can assure you that I can paint. And it's not because, oh, you're so good you can paint on printer paper. No, it's because anyone can paint on printer paper. It's not, there's nothing weird about painting on any sort of paper with any sort of cheap paints, with any sort of cheap brushes. So I truly believe that. And I think that because I truly believe it is the reason that I don't find any issue doing it.
Ricardo said, toilet paper, let's go.
Okay, no. Well, you know that there's you joke, you jest. Surely you jest. But one of my exercises when I started art school at SVA, maybe Dan remembers this. I don't know if Dan watches these videos live. But Dan Zolkas, which is a good friend of mine, he's a super cool illustrator. Maybe Dan remembers. But so I'm going to make it as if Dan was listening. Dan, do you remember that for drawing, one of the exercises that we had to do for 1 week was to do something with toilet paper? Like we had to use toilet paper for something. Like the exercise was literally called a roll of toilet paper. And you could do anything. So a lot of people just hung it from the ceiling or did like a sculpture or threaded it or drew on top of it. I wrote on the whole roll of toilet paper for a week. I had never written as much in my life. Like, it was just stream of consciousness, but Jesus Christ, was that long. Like, I had never felt cramps in my hand for writing. It was amazing.
Did you finish
I finished
the roll?
I finished the whole thing. I got an A, I remember. They were like, did you really write on the whole damn thing? And I was like, hell yeah. Because I had to like write as I was unrolling it, and then I had to re-roll it. So it was like, it started like that's a regular roll of paper. Mm-hmm. And when I was done re-rolling.
Oh yeah, because re-rolling it.
Yeah, you can never get
impossible.
It tight back. Mm-hmm. And my teacher was like, did you just write? Like, because it was like small handwriting. I wasn't just like
I was gonna
big ass
ask
letter.
If you were using
I wasn't. I didn't go Sesame
Arial
Street.
200.
Yeah, I didn't go Elmo on that exercise. No. I went like if you were writing
a notebook.
Yeah, a letter. I just wrote stream of consciousness for like a whole week, and it was amazing. You know what I think in my brain I have an appreciation of how long a roll of toilet paper is that I would have never had if I hadn't done that exercise. So, it's a ridiculous exercise. It's a really dumb kind of, you could say, oh my God, stupid stuff that they make you do in art school. Yes, to all of that. But I think that I would have never gotten that appreciation for a dumb roll of toilet paper if I had never done that. So, good stuff happens sometimes.
So, when you were asking people to say what art meant for them,
or painting, or
yeah. I didn't read the comments because we were having another discussion. So
okay.
I'm gonna read them right now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I didn't read the comments because I frankly don't care. I'm kidding, of course. Come on.
Marcial said, for me, painting is a way to see and show beauty and interest in energy and forms. I'm sorry. Cody Winnicky. No, I think that's the only answer.
Okay, yeah. Good answer.
Maybe.
That's the right answer then. You got it right.
Mm. Jair Piñero said, yesterday I shot with a model for some reference pics,
Yeah.
and she asked me, what are you looking for? And I said, well, portraits and figurative poses.
Yeah.
Then I said, you've seen my art, right? And she said, yes, it is not to my liking, but yeah, I see what you're doing. Ha ha ha. I love the fact that she was so brutally honest.
Oh, yeah. And it's their job. They're like, models are super pros. Like, they don't have to like. I'm sure that every time they've gotten photographed by photographers, sometimes they don't like those photos either. It doesn't matter. Like, they understand when they're pros, they understand that their job is to be there for you for what you need. But then it's out of their hands. Like, that's, it's beyond you to try to imagine that, to try to please every model that sits for you. That would be very, very difficult in painting.
Margo Delgado estaba diciendo, ¿vieron el último post del Museo de Sorolla? Es sobre la pintura, sobre la última pintura que hizo, una historia muy interesante.
No, no
sí,
lo he visto, yo no.
Yo sí lo leí. Voy a tratar de recordar lo que decía. Margo de pronto me puede corregir. Pero él estaba pintando ahí en su casa, donde queda ahorita el Museo de Sorolla.
Sí, sí.
Estaba pintando a la esposa de un amigo de él.
Sí.
Y se paró y fue a subir las escaleras y se desplomó. Y lo ayudaron a levantar.
Sí.
Y él pidió que lo llevaran hacia la pintura e hizo como 3 brochazos y después como que con lágrimas en los ojos dijo que no podía
pintar más.
No podía pintar más.
O sea, se dio cuenta que ya no iba a poder
y eso
pintar
fue
más.
exacto. Sí, sí, sí. Y desde esa fue su última pintura, porque pues ahí fue cuando le dio, es que no me acuerdo exacto el...
¿Como un derrame de pronto? Como un...
No, ya te digo.
Un stroke.
Sí, un stroke.
Sí, un derrame.
Y pues quedó paralizado por 3 años y después murió.
Sí, yo recuerdo, esa parte sí la recordaba, que es que él había tenido que parar mucho antes de cuando había muerto.
3 años, sí.
Sí, qué fuerte, ¿no? Bueno, pero él ya,
sí.
O sea, ojalá haya tenido, o parecía tener una vida súper bonita, digamos.
Sí, 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 sí.
Pero una vida, sí, pero una vida que depende.
No, y para una persona que ha entendido la pintura como parte de su vida.
Sí.
Yo creo que eso, de pronto hay otra gente que no lo puede entender así, pero es que es como dejar ir una parte de uno. O sea, porque si esa es una manera en la que uno no solamente ha pasado la mayoría de su vida, sino que disfruta y siente como que se entiende a sí mismo mientras...
Sí,
o sea, si uno se entiende como pintor o si uno se entiende como artista y está forzado a dejar de hacer eso, es como dejar de entender esa parte de uno mismo. Entonces, sí. A mí me dio mucha tristeza cuando vi ese post.
Sí,
la verdad.
Qué duro. Para allá vamos todos, entonces más bien pensar que de pronto ojalá la vida nos dé tanto tiempo como él tuvo para pintar.
Jair Piñeros dice otter holding rock in the top half of the palette.
Right here?
I see it.
I saw it immediately.
Yeah.
I saw it immediately.
I had no idea
job,
what the comment was going to.
Oh, as
like
soon as
otter holding rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it became that specific, I was like, okay, we're looking for something in the palette.
Yeah.
Background is far darker than what I thought originally. Not super dark, but darker.
Alejandro said, I have the feeling arguing about art or politics or anything for that matter has more to do with fitting your ego more than anything.
Not that dark. Yeah. Well, there's a ton of people that love to go through arguments to just sound. They just want to confirm that they are right, or they feel that they're right about something, or that they put somebody to shame, so that proves to them that they're right. Maybe I don't. I don't know.
Roslyn said, Alejandro, I agree with you. I enjoy different opinions personally because I can learn something from most people. I don't pay much opinion, maybe attention,
Yeah, no, but
to
you could
those who
express it
think,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't pay much opinion.
Oh, yeah. Rosalind is very formal.
I'm not. So what? That's
Oh,
why I was
weird.
like, oh,
Oh,
it's attention.
yeah.
Um,
Please, Rosalind.
to those who think
That's the lack of
their
potassium
way is
speaking.
the only way. I love the voice you did. Como toda hiperventilada.
Yeah, yeah.
Sí. Ay, sí, sí, sí. Lola Onigiri dice, hasta ahorita caigo en cuenta,
¿Qué
en la
son
cuenta.
tapitas?
Estás pintando, yo estoy ahí corrigiendo a todo el mundo de Canzona.
Ajá.
¿Estás pintando las tapitas de Jermis? Uy, ¿tú jugaste Jermis? Claro.
No, no sé
Pues
qué
con
es.
tapitas
Ah,
o
pues,
con tazos.
tapas. No, tazos no. Tapas jugaba así, con tapitas. Mi mamá decía que ella jugaba con tapitas como si fuera bicicleta, como la Vuelta a Colombia.
Sí, que era como lo de tumbar las tapitas.
No, yo eso no, nunca lo jugué, eso no era de mi
¿Jermis?
época. No, yo jugaba piquis.
No, Jermis no es de época, es de cultura colombiana.
¿Mm?
Mentira. Dice, Jermis es un juego tradicional colombiano, normalmente jugado en parques, calles y zonas verdes
Ujú.
de las diferentes ciudades del país, originario de San Andrés y Providencia. Las reglas son, se juega entre 2 equipos, sin límite de personas, normalmente entre 5 y 10 por equipo. Al equipo que esté ponchando a la ofensiva, no se le vale caminar con la pelota, solo pueden hacer pases entre los jugadores de su mismo equipo.
O sea, hay una pelota y
Ujú.
tapas en este juego.
Un jugador a la defensiva que reciba un golpe de la bola queda eliminado y debe... ¿Qué?
¿De qué me estás hablando, Lindita? Oye, ¿otra vez empezaste a leer sin saber qué estabas leyendo?
Sí.
¿Sí? Vintage Danny.
No, vintage no, siempre ha sido igual.
No, por eso.
Jermis juego tapas. Pero sí se llamaba tapas. No, sí tiene tapas, claro.
Pero ¿y un balón?
Sí.
O sea, es ponchados
Con
y uno
tapas.
toma cerveza y después tira
No,
una
no, no,
tapa.
no, no, porque lo juegan niños, Nicolás. Era como
No toma
refrescos,
Malta.
gaseosas. Espérate a ver qué dice después. Si un jugador del equipo que está ponchado se sitúa a la espalda de uno de sus contrincantes, este último no podrá correr más porque quedará cubierto.
¿Mm?
Se usa una pelota generalmente de caucho. El equipo que está a la defensiva porta bates o palos. No, ¿qué es esto?
¿De qué me estás hablando, Lindita? Y además volviste a leer
Sí.
con un convencimiento de que realmente sí era.
No, pues es que la imagen tiene tapas. No, pero yo jugaba Jermis, era a lo de tumbar las...
¿Por qué no escribes lo que tú jugabas y a qué le decías
Como
tú, Jermis?
pellizcando las tapitas.
Sí,
Como, no me acuerdo si era para tumbarlas o para sacarlas de un circulito.
y que le cayera encima a las otras y las empujara por fuera
Ujú.
del círculo.
Ajá, eso
Ah,
era lo que
bueno.
yo jugaba. No sé, al parecer no es Jermis. Pero pues era mi Jermis, no sé. Miremos a ver Lola qué nos dice. Que Lola fue la que dijo Jermis.
Lola también jugaba eso en San Andrés.
Lola dice, jajaja, la cara de Daniel leer las instrucciones.
Sí, no. Ustedes,
Eh,
ya hemos dicho esto, pero Dani es de las que, aquí encontré esto, pero no lo ha chequeado. No lo ha
pero es
chequeado.
que,
Ella
no,
confía plenamente en que Google le leyó la mente y le arrojó como primer resultado exactamente lo que ella necesitaba. Entonces se pone a leer, pero así, reconvencida.
para mi defensa,
Ujú.
pues es complicado. Ya he aprendido a manejarlo un poquito más, pero es complicado estar leyendo comentarios, escuchando la respuesta de Nicolás y pensando qué decir yo. Entonces, esa es mi defensa. Julia Tobar dice, jajaja, Dani y su convicción absoluta, leer páginas X.
100%.
Jair Piñeros dice, sí, uno tiene que tumbar las tapas con la pelota de letras. Ah, sí.
¿Pero
Em,
eso era lo que jugabas?
la maloca toroide dice, es un ponchados con tapas. El que quedaba ponchado tiene que armar las tapas. Sí, algo así como que si uno no las poncha, pierde.
No, mi amor,
No,
ya
ya no
estás, no,
sé.
ya estás ahí.
No, sí, sí.
No, achique
Sí,
ese
sí,
barco
sí,
porque
sí.
se está ahogando. No, no, no.
Que si a
¿Qué es
ti te
esto?
ponchan, la manera de no morir, como no salir del juego, es que
Mm,
tienes que tumbar la torre de tapas. Algo así. Pero también había un juego de
un
tapas
jugo.
que era igual que con los tazos, que era
Ujú.
como pellizcándolos para que se saliera.
Yo creo que tú jugabas era monedita y todo esto es...
Em, Lola dice, sí, sí, hay tapitas de gaseosa que apilas. Hay dos grupos. El objetivo de un equipo es no dejar que el otro arme la torre de tapitas. Ah, no. Entonces
No,
estoy mal.
ahí,
Y para
ahí,
evitarlo,
ahí Lola
ponchan
te
a la
está pegando una
gente.
ayudada y...
Camila Ogerman dice, jajaja, no hay tiempo para chequear. Exacto, exacto, porque qué tal yo
No.
decir, espérate y busco acá en Google y me leo un artículo de 30
Sí, pero hay veces
páginas.
estás leyendo y puede haber como un versículo de la Biblia y sigue, si sigue, o sea, es
Sí.
como Job 3:4. Job 3:4 dice que, ¿cómo se llama el juego? Tachitos.
No, Jermis.
Sí, miren, miren, acá en Job 3:4 dice
Jair dice,
Jermis.
todos jugamos con reglas diferentes, jajaja. Alejandro dice, Dani, ya pareces el chavo del 8. Ay.
No, 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 ese es,
Eh, Julia dice, siempre es infaltable el qué. ¿Qué es esto?
sí. ¿Qué?
¿Qué estoy
Pues es que
leyendo?
de ahí creo, me estoy dando cuenta que nace el wait.
Wait, pues
Que tú
claro,
eres
porque yo,
como,
es
bueno,
que
voy a
¿sabes qué
leer
pasa?
esto, voy a leer esto, les voy a contar esto.
Mi trabajo acá
No, un
es
momento,
ser
wait.
multitasker
Ujú,
profesional,
sí,
porque yo tengo que escucharte a ti,
no
pero a
tienes
veces,
que, pero...
no, pues, pero
mm,
por respeto a veces lo hago, a veces.
ujú.
No, yo te tengo que escuchar a ti para tener una conversación contigo, pero a veces me doy cuenta que o pienso que estás tratando de terminar una idea, entonces digo, apenas termine Nicolás, voy a mirar si hay alguna pregunta relacionada con eso. Entonces
Sí.
empiezo como a escanear los comentarios,
Mm,
pero tengo que escanear, volver a ponerte atención,
mm.
volver a escanear, volver a ponerte atención, escanear, entonces tengo que hacer muchos trabajos al tiempo.
Oye, pero estamos llegando a algo. ¿Tú crees que el wait entonces es como algo que es
Si
como
es mi
tú,
cerebro,
es tu
como,
cuerpo diciendo
momento, estamos
un
haciendo mucho
momento,
al tiempo.
un momento que estoy
Uy,
leyendo sobre
Ferchungilis.
la diarrea en
Hola,
gatos?
Ferchuchis.
¿Mi Fer
Ferchuchis está
está?
diciendo hola
Hola,
y
mi
unos
Fer.
emojis. Sí, sí, o sea, mi cerebro está... Tiene que hacer 30 cosas al tiempo.
Ujú,
Por eso se me va el inglés, se me va el español, se me van las búsquedas de Google.
mm,
A veces leo otra pregunta y digo, ay, cierto que yo quería responderle esto a Nicolás.
mm.
Entonces, muy difícil.
Así no
No me
se
pidan
puede.
tanto. Margo dice, ¿qué es ponchar? Ponchar es como con una pelota,
Ujú,
se la lanzas a alguien
y le pega.
y le pega. Sí. Es como si lo marcaras con la pelota. Em, la maloca toroide decía, ponchar es tocar a alguien con una pelota en un juego de niños para eliminarlo del juego. Sí, sí, sí. Julia, que
Ujú.
Julia es mi forever protector.
No, pues ya, ahí bien.
Dice, si Dani es una dura, yo siempre pienso cómo sería si me tocara y me estresaría de no poder leer los comentarios mientras Nicolás habla.
No.
Toca hacer todo al tiempo. A veces por eso hago todo a media, por tratar de hacer todo al tiempo.
Yo
Em,
quisiera tratar un día que quieras trabajar, me dejas y me dejas tratar.
pues ya lo he visto en los lunes de la Visual
Sí,
Correspondence y
a
no
ver,
sé si lo
viene un
puedas hacer.
vainazo acá, sí, me
Sí,
estaba
no
ya
sé si lo puedes
preparando,
hacer.
pero no me digas así porque obviamente
No sé si lo
eso
puedas hacer, no sé. No sé.
eso me alienta más a querer hacerlo,
No, 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 pero,
¿no?
pero,
Entonces, ¿no?
pues tengo que decir que es un súper talento que yo tengo.
Mm,
Em,
una heroína. Los héroes vienen de muchas formas.
A veces son multitaskers
Mm,
en streams.
y a veces no.
Ricardo dice, ponchar no es hacerle hueco a algo.
También.
También, pero no
Ese
en
es
ese,
como
sí, no,
la...
en el juego no es, la gracia
No.
no es hacerle un hueco a alguien
Sí.
con la
Ja,
pelota.
ja, con un balón.
Em,
Acá de
eh,
pensar con un niñito con un balón así. Uy, a mí como cuando me taponeaban, afortunadamente yo era gordito, entonces mi barriga me protegía.
no, pero eso a veces cuando uno jugaba quemados, uy, había gente que
No,
era
no, ese no era tan popular. Por ahí en el gimnasio hay veces nos
tan
ponían
popo,
tan
dijiste.
popular en mi colegio.
Ah, ya, ya. En el mío sí.
Y en
En
el barrio
gimnasia nos
jugábamos
ponían a
era
hacer.
tarro, de pronto, pero
Lich
no.
estaba diciendo, ¿ese no es tarro?
Sí, yo jugaba era más tarro en el barrio. Que era más chévere, suena más chévere que tapitas, que ¿cómo era?
Eh,
Guarchi.
¿Cuál? Jermis.
Jermis.
Andrés Gómez dice, en mi generación en Medellín le llamábamos Jamie.
Me encanta que Medellín todo lo... A como
Ay, me
suene.
encantó Jamie.
A como suene.
Y en vez de tapas eran
¿Qué?
pedazos de ladrillo con lo que se armaba la torre.
Un, un partidito de Jamie.
Jamie, me encanta.
Se echa un Jamie. Se echa un Jamie conmigo.
Eh, Julia dice, ¿les tocaron los hielocos? Creo que no.
No, ¿qué está pasando ya?
¿Hielocos?
Un Jamie.
Sí.
¿Qué?
¡Ay, sí!
¿Jamie o miedo?
Obviamente me tocaron los hielocos y yo los coleccionaba en mi cuarto. ¿Eso es donde era que salían? ¿En el yogur? Mira, estos sí. Que incluso no sé por qué estoy pensando que uno jugaba con los tazos y uno apostaba a esos hielocos en el colegio. Me acabo de acordar.
No,
No me
pues,
sabía el nombre.
los
O
vándalos.
con gaseosas, de pronto era. Eh, a ver. Ay, tengo como una parte que me estoy acordando,
Cuéntame.
una no.
Está ganando la que no,
Eh,
el partido.
a ver, esto es una página. El
Ajá.
artículo se llama Nostalgia que refresca.
No,
¿Te
todo.
acuerdas de los
Ay,
hielocos?
Dios mío.
Coca-Cola.
Mm,
Sí, señores.
Acá no nos patrocinan, entonces pilas.
Sí, Coca.
Mm, mm, mm.
No, ya estoy en un lugar.
Te fuiste lejos.
Sí, sí, sí.
Vuelve, linda, vuelve.
Sí. Lich dice, son de Coca-Cola, Dani, costaban 2 tapas y una luca. Sí, Julia dice, sí, los de
¿Tocaba comprarlos en
Coca-Cola.
la tienda o en el carro?
En la tienda creo que a uno le daban. Creo que es que en esa época, yo me acuerdo que nosotros recogíamos las tapas y mi mamá iba y los cambiaba. O cuando pasaba el camión también.
Sí. En mi época eran esas
Lich dice
cositas.
en las tiendas
Sí, en mi época eran esas cositas
y en el
tocaba con
camión
el
también.
camión, sí.
Sí, lo mismo que cuando uno quería como los vasos que daban o cosas así.
En los camiones, sí.
Eran los camiones. A mí me daba mucha rabia cuando llegaba el camión y
Mm.
uno, sí es para esto. No, no me quedan.
Sí, le dan a uno el
Yo
peor
decía,
vaso del mundial.
sí. Yo
No.
decía, no. No, a veces ni siquiera había. Jair dice, jajaja, todos dando la respuesta mientras Dani busca online. Esa también es una difícil y es que si tengo abierto el chat, no puedo abrir Google. Entonces,
¿Cómo así?
o sea, si tengo abierta una pestaña con el chat y me toca
Sí.
abrir otra pestaña con el buscador de Google.
Oye, pero entonces le tenemos que poner a esta pintura Jamie.
¿Jamie o
Jamie.
Jermis?
No, Jamie 100%.
Bueno, si quieres.
Jamie, papá.
En honor a que Andrés Gómez nos contó que
No, pues
así era
si le dicen así,
Jamie.
así era Jamie.
Julia dice, no sé cómo tenía tantos si en mi casa no compraban Coca-Cola.
Uy, los vecinos sí debían
No,
saber.
pero creo que yo me acuerdo que a veces los regalaban en la tienda. A veces con uno
No,
eran amables. Claro, porque
la tienda no
decían,
regalan nada.
sí, yo sí me acuerdo, yo sí me acuerdo. Em, Andrés Gómez dice, jajaja, qué honor. Lo de Jamie.
Claro.
Eh, Ricardo dice, yo, un peruano, completamente perdido en toda esta conversación.
Pero le aseguro, Ricardo, que hay 100.000 equivalencias de todo lo que estamos hablando en su historia.
Pero busqué, y los hielocos también estaban en México, porque el artículo que estaba leyendo era de México.
Es que aquí todo eso de los muñequitos que vienen en paquetes o en
Los del
vainas,
yogo yogo
todo
también,
eso
todo
es
eso.
como mexicano. Todos esos muñequitos siempre los tienen como en México también.
Camila Ogorman dice, admirable tu multitasking, Dani. Muchas gracias. Dice, me retan por no atender el teléfono. Por ejemplo, no puedo caminar por la calle y hablar por teléfono al mismo tiempo.
Dani no puede, si va con una botella de agua, tiene
Yo
que
tengo que parar
frenar,
para tomar,
tiene que frenar
pero porque es que si no me
el
pego.
paso
No, yo
para tomar.
puedo,
No, y te
pero
atoras y la
prefiero no.
escupes.
No, puedo, pero prefiero no. Disfruto más si paro, porque si no, normalmente me pego en los dientes de adelante.
Pero multitasking.
Sí, no,
Sí.
tú querías ahí humillarme con mi multitasking.
No.
Humillarme con mi
No, a
multitasking.
mí es que me preocupan tus dientes que no quiero
Ujú.
que te los maltrates.
Sobre todo si siempre que paro me dices, linda, pero lo puedes hacer caminando.
No, pues
Y
es
yo,
que vamos
"No".
caminando
Sí,
y yo sigo
de
hablando como
afán.
un idiota y me volteo y tú estás a una cuadra atrás
Sí.
tomando agua.
Es verdad, es verdad. Julián Cabrera dice, en Neiva también le decíamos Jamies. Ahora ya no es Jamies, sino Jamies. Mira.
Jeremis.
Sí. Julia dice, de pronto empecé con uno y en los juegos fui ganando más y más, jajaja.
Uy,
También, porque uno pues los apostaba.
ludópatas todos.
Ricardo dice, te juro que no hay. Los peruanos estábamos con canicas y jugando liga.
Bueno, pero
Canicas también jugaban, piquis,
sí,
se
acá
llamaban
les
acá.
decíamos piquis, pero
Piquis,
canicas.
la grande era la pota.
La pota.
Había más nombres.
Mara, o sea,
La
dependiendo de lo
mara,
que tenían
sí.
adentro.
Pues, pero la mara era la
La más
más
chiquita era una
famosa.
pingua. Una
La
pingua.
pingua, sí, porque mi tío me decía pingua. Me acuerdo de eso.
Y yo, por ejemplo, yo no tenía potas, muchas potas,
Yo sí.
pero yo cambié
Yo quería solo potas.
con alguien, muchas mías, por una pota, pero estaba desportillada.
Ay,
Porque
las
si a mí me
potas se
dicen,
desportillaban mucho.
si a mí me dicen desportillado, para mí es una piquis. Pero yo tenía mi pota verde, una verde así transparente, desportillada, pero era el honor de mi vida no me la gané, pero la cambié.
No, yo sí tenía potas.
Mm.
Y me acuerdo que
Ojo
había
de gato había unas.
unas potas. Mi pota favorita era una que era blanca y tenía como pedacitos de colores.
Sí.
No sé si te acuerdes.
Sí, es que en
No
mi
sé si
época
se
no había
acuerden
tanta
todos.
variedad.
A ver, pota blanca.
Google va a decir, ¿quieres decir?
pedacitos de colores.
¿Querías decir?
No, ¿qué? Mira lo que me salió.
No quiero, me da
Un
susto.
calamar gigante.
Va cerca, Dani. Empieza a leer sobre el calamar.
Pota blanca con pedacitos de colores. Busquemos piquis. Piquis, potas.
Canicas. Creo que tienes que buscar
No.
canicas.
Sí, no me salieron unos tacones y una torta de Mike Wazowski. Canicas, potas.
No, es que no.
Acá está. Esta.
Ah, como un chicle parece.
Sí, esa era mi favorita, pero la grande, o sea, la pota.
No, yo no tenía de esas. En mi
Yo
época
sí.
no había de esas.
Yo sí, ¿y sabes cuál era mi lugar favorito para comprarlas? Me acuerdo que yo iba al
Pues,
colegio y la gente, ¿dónde los conseguiste? Y
pues
yo era
ahí en
como,
la 140 en Cedritos.
No.
¿No?
los 3 elefantes.
Ah.
Increíble, yo compraba todas mis mallas de piquis y yo era la sensación del recreo
Mm.
con mis piquis.
No, pero lo chévere era uno tener poquitas e irse ganando.
Ganando,
Yo tenía las mías casi que
a mí me
contadas.
ganaban todas y yo...
Sí, mi hermano tenía muchas más que yo me acuerdo.
Julia dice, ojo de tigre era una
Ojo de gato yo le decía.
y petroleras. Sí, las que parecían como como
esas
charco
salieron
de
después.
gasolina, sí me acuerdo.
Sí, esas salieron despuesito.
Margo dice, en Canarias a las canicas le decimos boliches.
Pero boliche es bolos, ¿no?
Sí.
En México creo que es jugar al boliche es jugar
Sí.
bolos.
Julia dice superpota y megapota. Sí. Me acuerdo 100%. Mi favorita era mi super pota, blanca con pedacitos de colores. Callum was saying, hola jóvenes. Again, jóvenes with a Z for the
Ooh.
flow.
Generation Z.
Hi, Callum. Sí, y Lich dice, boliche es el bar en Argentina.
Eso no sabía.
El boliche,
Boliche es el antro, entonces.
sí. Es que en español todo es todo
Todo es
y
todo.
nada es nada.
No, acá la
Y todo es
poetiza.
nada. A ver. Hablando
De mujeres,
a ver,
traiciones.
de los hielocos,
Mm,
Lich dice, y había una edición del mundial. Tenían sí. Eso es que, ay, ¿por qué tengo? A ver, hieloco. Mundial tenían la camisa, es que no quiero decir nada. O los colores.
mm.
¿Cómo era? Es que hoy digo algo y...
No, nadie acá. ¿Cuándo no has podido
Hielocos
decir algo?
futboleros se llamaban. Grandes momentos.
Mm,
Aquellos.
mm.
Em, Todavía los venden. Y acabo de ver un post de alguien que vende que dice, Hielocos, la reliquia de los
No,
90s. Así los vende.
a sacar plata.
Sí.
Les dijo reliquias.
Mm. Forgetty Spaghetti
That's pretty good.
said, how do you package your paintings for shipping? Saludos desde Puerto Rico.
So we do a sandwich between. We put paraffin paper first, like
Mhm.
a little envelope of paraffin paper,
Like wax
paper. Yeah.
paper, yeah.
Then we put like cardboard. We do a little cardboard envelope, like we sandwich cardboard, and then foam board. But with larger paintings, we have to put a backing of wood also.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty. I think they've reached everyone in perfect, perfect shape. So I think we're batting 1,000 till now. So
Caqueiro dice, yo tenía súper poquitos hielocos, jajaja. Y Julia dice, eso de reliquia dolió. Y mi prima dice, literal. Sí, la reliquia. Para subirle el precio.
y ustedes ya están viejas.
Ah, no.
Pues sí.
Para algunos ojos, siempre se será uno viejo. Se será.
¿Qué?
Siempre será uno viejo.
Para algunos
Para otros
ojos
siempre estará
se
uno
será
joven.
uno viejo.
Ya, no, sí, no. Jared Weiss was saying, how is the book
I
Wise?
think
Said, how is the book coming along? Looking forward to it.
everything perfectly in schedule.
Yep. Yeah. A ver. Me encanta, hay muchos comentarios sobre los hielocos. Lola Onigiri estaba preguntando, ¿qué es tarro?
Tarro se jugaba, es como una mezcla de escondidas, o sea, las escondidas normales, de eso que uno se esconde y lo tienen que salir a buscar a uno, y si lo encuentran el escondite, pues uno tenía que correr hacia un tacho para decir 1, 2, 3 por Laura Onigiris, por Lola, perdón. 1, 2, 3 por Dolores. Pero en vez de que el tacho fuera, no sé, una pared, un árbol o lo que sea, había un tarro, por eso se dice tarro, como una lata, o después un balón, la verdad. Yo lo jugaba era con un balón, pero pues igual se le decía tarro. Y entonces uno podía, cuando lo iban a encontrar a uno, pues la persona que buscaba Entonces, si lo encontraba, iba al balón o al tarro y decía,
Ay,
un,
¿no
dos,
tenía
tres,
uno que sacarlo del círculo?
un, dos, tres. No, tenía que patearlo.
Por eso, pateándolo
Entonces,
de un círculo.
cuando la persona iba buscando a otra persona, o sea, esto era re injusto, la verdad. Uno tener que buscar en tarro era lo peor. Otra persona que estuviera escondida podía echarse un pique, correr rápido hacia el tarro balón, tarro slash balón, y uno le pegaba una patada y salía ese balón, pues, lejísimos. Y entonces la persona que estaba buscando tenía que ir por el balón y volverlo a poner en el sitio donde era el tacho. Y tenía que volver a empezar a buscar. Re injusto.
Jair Piñeros, hablando de lo del libro, dice, ay, jue madre, no he mandado la foto. No,
Sí, porfa.
tranquilo,
No,
pero,
o sea, no hay... No, pues fotos
pero
me lo pueden dejar a mí, pero no se preocupen. Todavía hay tiempo.
Callum
Yes.
was saying, bueno, antes Julia estaba diciendo, jajaja, esa cantadita de Nicolás tan repentina.
Siempre.
Y Andrés Gómez decía, botatarro le decíamos en Medellín a ese juego.
Betty le decía.
Sí, sí. Callum, estaba buscando otro chiste de botatarro y no.
No. Tenemos así más bien.
Sí. Callum, again, was saying finished university for the summer and also another
Dude,
larger
congrats.
painting today.
Awesome.
Sorry to join late. Painting
No.
looks fab.
And your painting looks great too. So congrats. Well-deserved rest. So I'm guessing it's until August now. August. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a long break now. So enjoy your break.
Lich dice, pero por eso no se usaba el balón. Nosotros usábamos el litro de gaseosa con un cuncho para que no saliera tan lejos.
No, en el barrio, en Pueblito, ese balón salía, pero jugábamos con un balón de caucho.
Pues
Que
sí,
esos hay
¿peor?
veces... No, porque un
¿Qué?
balón de caucho...
Un balón de esos de letras sale
Un
hasta el
balón,
infinito.
no, pero
y
no
más
de letras.
allá.
Un balón de letras uno sí lo puede patear 100 metros. Pero, no, esos balones de caucho como de
Sí.
playa, como...
Como
No,
Cacaíto,
playeros.
¿sabe? Que nosotros lo llamábamos la uvita boyacá.
Bueno, una uvita
Esos que-
Boyacá. No,
Esos que tienen
sí.
olor.
Una...
Nosotros teníamos uno muy
Ah, sí,
famoso que era
huelen
la
rico.
uvita boyacá.
Sí.
Y después se volvió la dubita boyacá.
Yo siempre pienso que todo esto lo ponía tu hermana.
No,
Todo esto.
creo que fue mi papá
Uvita
y mis
Boyacá.
tíos. Uvita boyacá.
No, pero entonces ese balón, un balón de esos, uno lo patea y esa vaina se queda en el aire como 30 segundos ahí, dependiendo del viento, se devuelve. Entonces, no era tan trágico
Mi
patear
prima
ese
dice,
balón.
sí, jajaja, pero la uvita era clásica. Sí, la uvita boyacá nos duró muchísimo. Y después
¿En
lo
serio?
chistoso,
No,
sí.
esos balones duraban
No,
como 2 semanas.
Es que nosotros los llevamos para jugar como relevos o para jugar
¿Relevos?
en la piscina.
Ah, bueno.
Entonces a veces era con la pelota, se lanza uno la pelota.
Pero a
Eh,
nosotros, ¿cuánto nos duró la pelota ahorita?
Pero sí, nada.
Duró media
Uy,
hora
sí,
el juego con la
Y
pelota.
sí, no,
Una horita.
pues yo bajaba, lo recogía. Duró lo suficiente para que todos nos insoláramos.
Sí.
Sí, además lo chistoso es que estábamos en una casa, fuimos con mi hermana, la prometida de mi hermana, la prometida, sí, la
Sí.
novia de mi hermana, prometida de mi hermana, con mi papá, con mi mamá, Coco y yo, Nicolás y yo, perdón, y estuvimos en una casa y era una casa de recreo, de nuevo no sé cómo llamar eso, pero era alta. Y, o sea, había una calle
Estaba
súper
sobre,
empinada.
estaba sobre
Exacto.
una colinita.
Y era en un conjunto, entonces la entrada al conjunto empinada, luego la subida para la casa empinada y la piscina era de esas piscinas que son como sin fin y la pelota se bajaba, o sea, se nos salía y bajaba hasta la entrada del conjunto.
Sí,
Y salíamos como Susan,
ley-
que es la prometida de mi hermana y yo, corriendo así como en bikini. A toda tratando de no rompernos los pies con las piedritas para recogerlas.
Muy
Gracias.
buena, sí, grande.
Grandes recuerdos. Ah, no, pero yo estaba diciendo de la uvita.
Ahorita
Que-
retrechera.
Fue muy chistoso porque después hubo, o sea, era la misma uvita Boyacá, pero era
uvita
la de
búho.
limón. Sí, o sea, eran pelotas que
Sí.
tenían otro olor porque no habíamos conseguido la que olía a uvita y
No, que
todas se llamaban uvita Boyacá.
ustedes allá en la tienda en Melgar oliendo balones.
No, es que era
No, esta no es
morada.
la
No,
uvita.
mi amor, porque la...
Esta huele
No, porque
distinto.
eran los colores. O sea, había el limoncito, que era el verde, la uvita, que era la
Acabas de decir
morada,
que no olía a lo mismo.
que no olía lo mismo porque era de color verde, o sea, que era el limón. No importa.
No, mi amor, el caucho huele a caucho, eso no importa el color.
No- Eso me demuestra que no sabes qué tipo de pelotas son.
Pues
Estas pelotas
claro.
olían a frutas.
Ah, no, yo nunca he comprado una pelota que huele a
Sí,
fruta,
no, mira,
discúlpame.
ay, pero por Dios, es que por eso
No,
no conociste la uvita Boyacá.
no, yo no sé qué les compraban a
Pelota,
ustedes.
caucho, olor. Las venden en todo lado.
Pues que huele a pelota, huele a goma,
No,
a
no, estas
caucho.
tenían, no, porque estas tenían olores como falsos, era como los cuadernos que olían. Mira, estas, así, mira. Uvita, fresita,
Qué asco.
limoncito, naranjita y lima,
¿Y uno para qué quiere una
limita.
pelota que huele?
De verdad que es lo máximo. Es lo máximo y duraba,
No,
duraba muchísimo el olor, sobre
no,
todo de la
pues,
uvita.
no.
Em, eh, Lola Onigiri dice, no es cierto, Nicolás, las pelotas tienen olor, jajaja.
Bueno, no vamos.
Em, Cacaíto dice, jajaja, esa uvita fijo se compró en los Tres Elefantes, jajaja. Sí, no, me acuerdo que esa la compramos, creo, o las comprábamos cuando se nos dañaban, cuando íbamos al Pedregal, yo ya acá dando nombres de todo, en Girardot, ahí como en el centro del pueblo.
Cuando íbamos al lote.
Sí. Em, Lich dice, pero en los Tres Elefantes todavía venden. Lich dice, Nicolás, ¿y nunca les compró cuadernos de fruticas a sus hijos?
No,
Jajaja, son de
nunca.
los mismos cuadernos.
No, aquí compro el que hay en la droguería.
Sí,
A Samu le ha
pero
tocado cuadernos que no está muy orgulloso de llevar.
en pandemia sobre todo le tocó uno
Sí,
que pues era el único que había
era el que había y ya.
y sí,
Sí, le dolía un poco, pero yo le
sí.
decía a Samu, cuaderno es cuaderno, no molestes.
Y a Fer le encantó. Fer le cogió todos los stickers de ese cuaderno. Era,
Sí,
sí,
el
era
cuaderno venía con
chistoso.
diario. Sí.
Decía como, era, yo me acuerdo que tenía un café, como un café frío.
No, ya ni
Sí,
me
yo me
acuerdo.
acuerdo todo eso.
Sé que
Y
decía, es de
decía,
esos que dicen cosas que están mal escritas,
sí, pero
como
era como,
Born to Life.
sí, pero era como Fashion Baby algo, como con estrellas así.
Sí, él necesitaba un
Sí,
cuaderno, me dijo súper tarde,
y te dijo, necesito un cuaderno ya.
me
Y tú,
tocó
el
salir
que
a...
haya.
Sí, yo le dije, no, pues
Y él,
salgo,
sí, el que haya, no importa. Y llegó y era, no, pero este no.
yo no moleste.
Sí. Em, Mario León dice,
Mario, hace
dato
rato.
curioso. Nuestro amigo Juan David González es oriundo de la Uvita, Boyacá. Un
¿Qué?
saludo. ¿En serio? Ahora
¿Juan?
me cae mejor Juan.
¿Juan es dueño?
Es
¿Juan es uvario?
el original Uvita, Boyacá.
¿Será por eso que Juan huele rico?
Eh, Julia
Huele a
dice,
pelota.
para mí, no, ¿qué?
¿Qué?
Para mí el mejor
Fue
día
Lola, no, fue Lola. ¿Quién fue? Fue Margo la que dijo
de la uvita
que las pelotas olían.
fue Lola.
¿Fue Lola? Ah,
Sí.
bueno.
Julia dice, para mí el mejor día del año era el de comprar materiales para el colegio y escoger cuadernos. Para mí también, pero me acuerdo que se volvieron súper caros.
No, eso es
Pues
un
mi mamá
robo.
era como en esta sección, porque había unos cuadernos en esa época de una marca que se llamaba Hojas, me acuerdo.
En esa época, mi amor, eso tiene como...
No, sí, pero pues
Mi
en,
mamá tenía cuadernos de hojas, creo.
bueno, y eran muy caros. Entonces mi mamá decía, el que quieran, pero no pasta dura y no de hojas. Em, Mario León dice, sí, él es de la uvita. Y Lola Onigiri dice, jajaja, esta conversación se salió de control. Y mi prima dice, yo también amaba comprar cuadernos y materia.
No, yo no sé qué es este canal.
Sí, a mí me encanta. Tampoco sé qué es, pero me encanta. Mira, y la gente está eh,
Pues
activa.
En Google Maps poniendo la
Uvita,
U,
Boyacá,
Boyacá.
olor. ¿A
Sí,
qué huele Uvita, Boyacá?
¿cuánto cuesta un balón que huele?
Lich dice, la feria estudiantil de Cafam, jajaja, 100%. Yo iba a Cafam Floresta a comprar mis materiales. A ver, Irving Torres Art dice, hola, hola, qué bueno que alcancé el en vivo, saludos. Hola Irving. Camila O'Gorman dice, necesito un diccionario colombiano, están
Mm.
manejando un vocabulario muy exclusivo.
Sí.
Em, a
Señor,
ver,
¿usted tiene esas pelotas que huelen?
seguro te dirían que sí. Sí,
Pues sí,
sí, la uvita o
porque es
la que huele a
difícil.
uva o la de limón.
Señor, invíteme a
La de
almorzar
fresa está
primero.
agotada.
Mm.
Julia dice Cafam siempre, jajaja, lo mejor.
No, eso era repleto. Horroroso.
Alejandro Morales dice, adiós amiguitos,
Chao,
es después
Alejandro.
de la medianoche. Chao Alejandro, sí, a descansar y muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Margo dice, hey, yo no he hablado de pelotas. Sí, sí, sí. Era Lola.
Era Lola. Disculpa, disculpa, Margo.
Em, Alejandro was saying, bye friends, enjoy the rest of the stream. Mm, yeah, I would define our streams as stream of conscious.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's our content. Did you like my?
Sure, I'm gonna go with it. Yeah.
I think it was a
Oh,
good one, but
perfect.
um,
I just know
are
that if
they art streams? No, they're
okay,
stream of conscious.
oh, kept going with that.
You just know that what?
No, that if I let you talk, I can paint more. So I'm totally fine with that.
A ver, ¿de qué más hablo?
No, well, I mean, there is too much.
Mm, so I want to see if maybe
Mm,
I skip the question.
mm.
So give me a bit.
10 minutes.
JC was
Mhm.
saying, what are some dark, creepy painters you enjoy?
Oh, what? Mm, I don't know if I don't know if I have like a definition for dark, creepy painters. Like I don't know if that's like in my wheelhouse.
And I don't know, like, what would be a dark, creepy painting?
Well,
Like,
you kind of know it when you see it, I guess. Who's dark and creepy?
no, because I think that, for example, there's a lot of people that would say that the black paintings of Goya
Yeah,
are kind of creepy.
that would
They're
totally
amazing.
yeah, that would totally, you could put that in that category. Um Ivan Albright, I think it's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say creepy, not dark, because I don't know if to me dark is like oof, there's like evil in there. So, but like creepy. Oh, Ivan Albright for sure. Who else is kind of creepy? Um, Let me think. I'm trying to think if I follow or like or something like objectively kind of dark and creepy. Um,
Ditch dice Nicolás Amori.
yeah, he's dark. Yeah, that can be
Pero
kind of
antes, I'm sorry, but before,
yeah.
Lich was saying the Italian guy, Nicola something, I forgot his name. Nicola Samori.
Yeah, he's kind of I would yeah, I'd say. Although I don't get creepiness from what he does. It's very baroque to me. I mean, baroque can be very creepy, but I don't know.
Camila O'Gorman dice, aquí también olían a fruta.
Las pelotas.
Kakeiro dice, no sé si dijeron el título de la pintura ya, sería algo como Jermis, exacto, pero no va a ser Jermis, sino que nos contaron nuestro querido amigo Andrés Gómez que en Medellín le decían Jamie.
Jamies.
Jamie y Jamies en Neiva, nos dijeron después, entonces
No, si a uno le dicen eso, pues ya ahí está el título.
el título. Margo dice, está fantástica la pintura.
Pues fue como de a poquitos, y necesité que Dani hablara de pelotas de olor, pelotas con olor
Uvita Boyacá se llamaba.
a uva, pelotas con olor a uva.
Oh.
Las apetecidas pelotas con olor a uva. Necesité de ese momento para concentrarme en la pintura.
Roslyn said, stream of consciousness. Now all we need is toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
um,
Never doing that again.
Jean Roussine was saying Phil Hale.
Yeah, he could be darkish, I guess. At times, yeah, maybe.
And Jean Roussine was also saying when they were talking about criticism towards your work.
Yeah.
Jean Roussine said, sounds dumb, but I feel kind of mad when people criticize your work. You're one of the least pretentious painters ever. If anything, you're too humble about your work.
Oh no, but that's because it's not, well, thank you, but it's not in your hands to have people criticize you or not. Like, people are going to say whatever they want to say, and that is 100,000 % what art, part of the art world. So part of being in the art world. So that's totally fine. I'm totally fine. I used to think that you had to have like thick skin for criticism. I don't think I see it like that anymore. I don't think it's about just almost like having this bulletproof skin, and they can say anything and you just don't care. No. I'm sure that stuff that people tell you can be painful, and it can be mean-spirited, and it can devalue what you're doing, and it can totally disregard everything that you're working super hard towards. So I'm not afraid of a comment hurting. The thing is just I always tell myself, well, what do I gain from staying here and thinking about this, lousy comment? Or because most of the time when things are, when people are trying to be mean-spirited, that offers no there's no constructive essence to anything that they're saying. Nothing. You honestly can't become a better person, by listening to mean-spirited comments. You cannot. So I don't know. I always just acknowledge that, sure, somebody said that, and yeah, I mean, this is how it feels. And then you remind yourself, okay, does this make sense? Is there any truth to that? Is there something that is like, yeah, maybe I'm struggling with this and they noticed it. Maybe they didn't express it in the best of ways, but could there be any truth to it? And I always try to assess it and say, yeah, maybe it's true. I was struggling with this, or maybe I very quickly just say, no, this is nonsense. And I don't hold on to it for a second. I just let it go, and then that's it.
Yeah, I would even say, when you said it's not about having thick skin, I would say that like the way I understand criticism is trying to think where it comes from. And that's how you can assess the comments they're saying.
Like how much value
it can have
to it.
Exactly. Yeah. Or how can that comment impact what you're doing?
Yeah.
So if it's coming from a loving place, but it wasn't phrased in the best way, again, you just go back to the roots of that comment.
Yeah.
And you can get like the part you need from the comment and exclude the part
Yes.
that's not good from it. So, Cosette Paz dice, excelente. A veces no sé qué pintar y me encantan tus ideas.
No, gracias.
Julia Tovar
Ujú.
dice, yo había preguntado por ahí. Nico y Dani, ¿hay algún
Señora.
museo en Bogotá que amen visitar? Cuando fui a Barcelona o a Nueva York, me parecía increíble la idea de poder vivir al lado de museos
Mm.
y poder visitarlos a diario, pero en Bogotá nunca sentí eso.
No, es distinto. Y eso que yo desde hacía mucho tiempo iba era al Banco de la República y me acuerdo que, o sea, iba a mi favorito siempre creciendo era la Sala de los Caballeros, que esa ya la deformaron, o sea, antes era mucho más chévere. Y, y cuando iba al Museo Nacional, hay un sitio donde está Epifanio Garay y es súper, súper chévere, o sea, donde está la pintura como de finales del siglo XIX, comienzos del XX, la de todos los como artistas colombianos que se fueron a estudiar como a Europa y volvieron. Cano, Garay, ¿quién se me pasa? Pues se me están pasando ahí un poco de artistas, pero eh, a mí me gustaba ese, como esas salas, ese espacio.
Tenemos que volver.
Sí.
Creo que la última vez...
Que fuimos al museo, creo que fue tú y yo que fuimos a la exposición de Botero, ¿te acuerdas?
exacto, eso te iba a decir,
La de
sí.
Botero de los 60.
Sí, sí, sí.
Early Botero.
Sí.
Que fue muy chévere, la verdad.
Botterly,
Mm.
decían por ahí.
No, nadie decía eso, mi linda.
Camila Ogorman dice, es un stream de cultura general.
Mm.
De bastantes cosas, sí. Jean Roussine said, these bottle caps are obviously larger than in real life.
Yes.
I find it so hard to paint when it's not side size.
Yeah.
Well done, you. Composition working out great too.
I thought about it. I thought about making it about half the size and just making them life size. Because there is something also beautiful about them, about a small object being represented in its kind of proper size. And then when I was kind of choosing paper, I thought of just saying, okay, but what if it's like slightly larger, just to give me like a more of a three-dimensional feel. And that's what I went with. It's just for almost like, I don't know, there's a sense of touch to them that it's really nice. And I always love when you give yourself a little bit more room to just investigate your subject matter. But yeah, there's always like a uncanny sort of feeling when you go slightly larger. Like this is probably I would say twice as big. So this is 200%, let's say. But when you go larger, but not super large, I mean, this could be like a 70s. This would have been a 70s, hyper-realist, photorealist painting, and it would be enormous. It would be like an 80 by 80 canvas. And that does seem to be the place for objects. I feel that they're either done, close to being faithful to the size you want to represent them, or something like super large. But anywhere in between, it's always disconcerting. And so I think that there is a quiet sense of like discomfort when you look at the painting and you realize that that's the size, because it just looks strange. But I think it's nice. I think it's really, really nice. I think it serves as a good starting point to understand that it's a painting. So that you are going to look at a painting. And I always try to emphasize that. So yeah. So I think we're good. I think
Yeah.
we're done. Yeah. Having said that, I think we are we're done. Very good. I like
Very
it.
good.
Well, yeah, I'm not like,
No, that was
patting myself on the back.
because you were like, we're done. Very good.
No.
That was-
But it's just that I liked ending on that conversation, like ending the reflection of thinking about the painting on that conversation.
Mhm.
But I like it. It's
I like it too.
yeah, it's a super simple object, a little bit of pattern, but I didn't want to make it about just, you know, repeating pattern, because then it's kind of boring to paint if every time, if you have to do it like, you know, equal distance and everything is like expected. um I don't I bore my, like, it's very boring. I get super bored when I have to do a painting like that. So I always try to find pretext to make it a little bit different, or to simplify it, or make it sharper, or make it softer. Anything to make it kind of interesting for me. So yeah, so I think that's cool. I think it was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty good stream.
It was.
Yeah.
I loved it. We
I had
just got
no
a
idea.
notification
Yeah.
that says that the video is running limited
Yeah.
due to content
course.
identified as not suitable for most advertisers.
Of course.
It remains fully playable and it's eligible to earn subscription revenue from YouTube Premium.
That's
So
fantastic.
maybe it was because I was speaking about
Smelly balls. No, it's literally that.
it was it was
that was the joke that we were making all the time. Oh, it's 100%
what else?
that. Nothing.
What else were we talking
Oh,
about?
nothing. Nothing.
Oh, no, I think something. When you were talking about how some countries destroy other countries' museums and you used a specific word.
Oh, no, but you could say that.
No, because I think they
You
have.
can't say that on a plane.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
That's
I
fine.
had an amazing conversation
Yeah,
about
that's fine. Again, we're
everything.
gonna, we are going to miss these $4.
Julia, para
Yes.
terminar, dice, a mí el early botero o el boterly
Boterli.
me gusta un montón.
Mm.
Julia es lo máximo.
La novela se
Julia,
llamaría,
cuando nos vienes a visitar.
la novela se llamaría Boterli la fea.
Mm,
Gracias, ya me voy. Yo solo puedo salir, gracias.
sí, no, yo
¿Desde
diría
dónde está la puerta? Gracias.
boterly morning.
No, ya, chao.
O,
Ya. No
Bueno.
más.
so thank you everyone
Thank you.
for being here. And I will see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
We'll